Okay, well, we are up to 8 o'clock here, so I will call the meeting to order. If we could stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, anyone for public comment? Seeing none, I would take a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes from the regular session on November 25th. Motion by Garmin. Need a second?
I can second that.
Second by Haas. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Decision review and approve of claims and the drainage claims. Everyone had a chance to look at the claims. Any questions?
I make motion to approve the claims.
Okay. Motion by Haas to approve the claims. Need a second? Second by Garmin. Discussion on the claims. Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And we have our budget status report. We'll let the record reflect that we acknowledge that. And then we have a handwritten claim. Your board packet for $500 to ISAC and $240 to IDDA. Right?
Yeah, so the one to ISAC was one that you had already approved. We just added that in there, and the one for ISAC is for Friday's meeting, and they needed payment by the 1st, so that's why we did the handwritten claim for that one.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the handwritten claim? Okay, motion by Garmin. Second by Stecker. Any discussion on the handwritten claims? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And we have the Wellness Committee meeting minutes. Any discussion on that? Otherwise, we'll acknowledge those. No, it is not quite 8:05. We have 2-minute break.
Is Corey coming over for this?
I texted him this morning to remind him, so, and I even put 8:05, so.
I told him yesterday too, or we talked about it. He said he was gonna be here.
Do you want to sign these? And we'll pass these out.
Oh, certainly can do that. New month.
December already.
Stay a second.
So Kyle, when did you guys come back?
Right, they're going to Chicago on Saturday, right, during the summer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a great time.
When were you supposed to come back?
Tomorrow. Well, and usually it is, I mean, yeah.
With a turkey.
Okay, it is 8:05 now, so we can continue with our public hearing for construction permit application, Andy and Lisa Marin, Marin 5 Hog Site, northeast, southeast, section 19 of Ledyard Township. And I'll need a motion to open the public hearing then. Motion by Stecker,
I'll second.
second by Wactor. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Okay, motion carried, public hearing is open. Are there any comments on the Marin application here? I don't see really anybody affiliated,
And
Corey's,
I don't know about Corey, but our office hasn't heard anything in writing or about it. I know the master matrix was redone, but Corey did that, so if there's any questions about that, he would have to answer those questions.
okay. Well, we don't have any public, so, that has comments, so that's,
Motion to close public
motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Second by Wactor. Any discussion?
We wanna try to take the trouble to call Cory, or I realize you did, I understand all that. This is not reflecting well on Cory.
I would agree with that, but I don't know if there's a concern about the substance here, so
Okay.
I think we can deal with that separately.
Okay.
Then, roll call vote to close the public hearing then?
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Public hearing is closed. And we'll need a motion to recommend to the Iowa Department of Natural Resources the approval or disapproval by resolution number 12/02/2501 of the construction permit application for Marin 5 site in the northeast corner of the southeast section 19 of Ledyard Township, due to them meeting the requirements of the master matrix scoring system per Corey Peterson, and to have Tammy Eden send notice to the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, the Kossuth County Board of Supervisors adopted recommendation.
I'll move to approve the resolution.
Motion by Stecker, second by Garmin. Discussion on the resolution. Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Motion carried, resolution passed. Good morning. Okay. We're done with that then?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Hope this thing's warm.
Next up, we have discussion decision to sign tax certificates and request tax abatement to the city of Sway City for a couple different parcels here. I assume that's why you're here this morning.
That's me, I can't
All right.
see everybody, sorry.
Do you wanna come up just a little closer so we can all see you?
With,
Isn't that coming in?
So we have there are a couple of vacant parcels in Sway City, that have been vacant for quite some time. So the city went in, I believe in 2003, and demoed a dilapidated building, and then assigned a city special to that. There's been no tax revenue for the last several years. And we were recently approached by a group of investors, that would like to purchase that property, or take it over, and then they would develop it in theory. I believe the plan is probably just a parking lot, but it would be a property that's no longer vacant, and that would generate some tax revenue for the county and the city. So the city's plan would be to take over have the county assign the tax certificates, agree to abate, the back taxes. We would then take deed, we've already done our lien searches, so then we would go through the process and hopefully be able to acquire that deed, and then get it over to that other group of investors, so they can do the developing. So, I don't know if Nick has anything, we've been in conversation, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'm sorry, wasn't down here in time, but, yeah, I think what the city's planning on doing, or would like to do is just kind of take deed to that, and I don't have any hard numbers right now exactly what is against it, but it's mostly the city, with city specials and things like that. Taxes didn't have much on it since they were, kind of dilapidated buildings, and then they were tore down, and that was just a lot, so. Like I said, I don't have any hard figures at this time, but, I can get those.
Okay. Are there questions for Nick or the city?
I don't have any questions. I was talked to, by one of the investors, and it sounds like, I mean, it'll be a good thing to get it back on tax rolls. So, you know, and it will serve a good purpose.
Yep.
So, I just wanted to say that, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's a very good thing.
So once I get something, maybe we'll have to meet again, and so you can make a decision, you know? So, but I think it's a situation like we've been through before with, some county-held tax sales where the cities wanna clean something up, and if they have someone interested in the property.
Will we be able to do that maybe later today then, since you don't have hard numbers? I mean, since it's on our agenda
I think
today?
so, I think I can get something together kinda real
Okay.
quick, so. Because it's a lot of years
So I can
and
just-
things
yeah.
like that, so,
Okay.
yeah. So, but I don't know how long. Unless she's gonna be able to stick around.
I can stay as long as I need.
Okay.
Well,
And
you don't have to.
I don't know that you need me here.
No,
but I sure
okay.
can. I sure can if you'd like me to, so.
No, you're fine, you're
Okay.
fine.
Okay, well, let me see what I can come up with and I'll let you know when I have something.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
good,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Alicia.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we'll come back to that then. We got another 2-minute break. Gotta wait till 8:15 here. Oh, Corey, we finished the hog setup.
Okay,
The hearing was at 8:05, so we went ahead and did that.
alright,
If you had any comments, I didn't know, but, we approved it.
alright, no, everything was good.
Okay.
So,
Alright,
Yep.
so, thanks.
probably should have taken for a 2-minute break.
It's a long minute.
Isn't it funny how that happens?
Yeah. Double check, make sure we got it.
Okay.
Make sure Howard signed it.
Howard's the troublemaker.
Hey, Josh and Carter missed the one sheet entirely.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
missed it
I passed
too.
it down and didn't even sign it. It is 8:15, so we have the discussion, decision, review and approve opioid settlement fund distributions to, this says two.
Oh, there's
Because
the
Sue's right
list
down here.
underneath there.
Oh, I'm okay. Okay, KRHC, yes,
Morning.
good morning.
Morning.
How we doing this morning?
Good, good.
So I'll start it off, as chair of the opioid settlement grant, review committee. Tammy's also on it, Phil as well, Roger Fisher, Bo Miller, Derek Olson, and help me with the two from the,
Schools.
yeah.
I can't remember their names either.
Thank you, thank you. All right, well, as you can, I guess, assume through that, we're kind of, getting up and running for the first time. We had, received some applications, we formed the committee, and we're trying to organize a structure, and I think we have it now. It took a little bit of time to get that done. So we had 3 applications. I submitted materials to you with the report from me, kind of outlining all of them. I'll just briefly outline the 3. I think there are people present to answer any questions regarding that. In looking at it, the first one was with Prairie Ridge Integrated Behavioral Health Center, or Healthcare. They are asking for $18,440.55. Again, this is grant money that we received from, or this is money received from the settlement funds, the National Opioid Settlement Funds, and we're obligated to use those funds for opioid remediation, treatment, and other approved services set out in our memorandum of understanding. So Prairie Ridge is asking for $18,440.55 to establish a methadone-based opioid treatment program to serve individuals struggling with opioid addiction, including those affected by fentanyl and heroin. This project increases access to life-saving medication-assisted treatment and will help reduce overdose deaths in our region. The committee unanimously approved this for presentation to the Board of Supervisors. The other 2 are from Kossuth County Public Health. The second one there that I presented was Safe RX locking prescription vials. They're asking for $755 for that service. This prevention initiative provides locking prescription vials to high-risk home health patients to prevent accidental access, diversion, and misuse of opioid medications. The vials use a secure 4-digit code to ensure only the intended patient can access the medication. The committee also unanimously approved that, for presentation to the Board of Supervisors. We felt that it was something that would help misuse and accidental use as set out in the grant, and would be able to be used for the citizens of Kossuth County. And then the third, also from Kossuth County Public Health, is Tall Cop Says Stop, national recognized presentation by an individual who does this throughout the United States. And I do know that there are some counties in Iowa that have used these opioid funds to bring this individual to their counties. And so, as I stated there, they're asking for $9,400 to $10,000, I assume, because it's uncertain at this point in time exactly how much they're going to need for him to come, giving room and board and so on. And in order to kind of bring it into even more of the opioid area or category, public, Phil had indicated, or at least we had indicated through our discussions, that we could, and I don't know if you were there, you were voluntarily offered for this service to bring in Narcan demonstrations, presentation, and distribution. So as I said, the board or the committee unanimously approved that as well. So now I'll just turn it over to the representatives here, and you can ask any questions.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Deb from Prairie Ridge.
Oh, okay,
Hi, Deb.
yeah, good morning.
Yeah, go on.
Go on up and speak, okay?
Yeah.
You just like nailed it for me.
Come on up, Sadie.
Well, I'm sorry.
He told me,
The
he
lawyer
told
in
you,
me, I
yes,
guess.
yes, he told you what I was, asking for, and hopefully that you guys heard. I did
bring, a prescription off the vial just so you guys can see what it's like. So, just like this cup top here, 1 through 10 on each of the, lid things, and then it has a specific code for each, bottle. We would get the kind that we can pre-inscribe. One thing about this is when they get the prescription vial, we do have them register online with SafeRx. That way if you forget your code, you're not having to break this thing open. Very simple process, so, once it's encoded, this one, has the certain ones, we can do ones that have the code already on them or pre-encoded. We're gonna try we will encode them, that way we can get more. And it's really not that hard to do. So then, our code is here, you mix it up, you can't get in it, you get back to your code, and then it just comes off. So, it comes off. We want the bigger ones, so that way the pharmacist can put the medication right into it, and they don't have to worry about slapping the label on a bottle that is not theirs. With Tall Cop Says Stop, I was able to go to the one in Esterville. It was phenomenal. It just really opened their eyes. One thing nice about him, we tried to include in that budget, was a community scan, so he can actually go out to some of the different shops that we have in Algona, because there's a lot of like different synthetic things that are in the community that none of us probably even know about. So he can go do that community scan, come back with real evidence of what's going on in our community, what's available, that you don't have to be 18 to buy, that anyone can get their hands on, and just kind of open our eyes, because although methadone is great, some of these synthetics, there is no antidote to them at this point. So, it was scary. It was very scary, but it was a very good eye opener, and it just kind of made you take a step back and be like, okay, well, if you think you know what's going on, you're 3 steps behind. It's pretty much what he said, and there was a lot of truth to what he was saying. So.
Very good, thank you.
Are those reusable for different medications or the same patient or?
Yeah, absolutely, they could be reusable. So as long, since we're putting vials in it, absolutely they could be reusable as long as the bottle is small enough to fit in there. Absolutely, they could be.
That was the only thing I was curious on with those.
Is there, can you put any numbers to the demand there is in the community right now?
I can't. I did talk with our pharmacist at KRHC too, and he said, I want you to kind of just think about it, because I know they have more firsthand too, out of the bigger picture of it, people maybe that call back frequently, or medications go missing more frequently. And then he said, he even said seems to be a very good idea. He liked the idea of the bigger bottles so that he could put his bottles in, but no, I don't have any concrete numbers for you.
I did tell Todd that I would let you know what our fund balance was. So for the opioid fund balance is $186,218.99. If we subtract those 3, I just took the $10,000 for the Talcop, our balance would be $157,023.44.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks for that info.
yeah. Thanks, Iggy.
So,
I'm happy to,
yeah,
Yeah.
so when somebody presented earlier, I don't believe it
Yeah.
was you, was it?
no,
you?
it was not,
And they asked for money per capita,
yes,
is that similar, is that the same amount as what's here?
yes, yes.
My concern at that time was, we're shipping all the money per capita, and I realize it's not a lot,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
to Mason City, and it's one of only 2 or 3 already up and going now in the state, is that right?
Yeah, there's more, what's required by the state now with the certified community behavioral health clinics is that they did something different in Iowa, and that we're required, as being one of them, we're required to have access to a methadone clinic opioid treatment program within 60 miles. And our closest ones, which Fort Dodge is closer, I believe, for
Part of the county anyway.
yes, as opposed to Mason City, but so Fort Dodge and Waterloo are only 2, and they're beyond 80-some miles. So that's why we're required to do this, so.
Yeah,
And I know patient transportation's an issue,
Well,
you know.
it's an everyday treatment and,
Yeah, they've loosened up those guidelines, so it is a daily treatment initially, but then you try to get them to what they call take-home doses as quickly as possible, provided they're stable. So the clinic has to be open 6 days a week, and so you give them at least one dose every week. And then once they're in the system for a couple weeks, you can start giving them more home doses. So they're really trying to, the guidelines are really trying to help limit daily driving. But it's a big ask of patients, so.
so why, we gotta spend the money somewhere, I don't wanna
Yeah,
be totally
no.
negative of
No,
things,
that's
why
fine.
wouldn't we give some of it to Mason City and some of it to Fort Dodge?
Well, and I understand that, I mean, I think that's up to all of you, obviously, because, yeah, Fort Dodge is close to you. I think they're 10 miles probably closer than,
To Algona, but there's a line somewhere where it
Right.
doesn't make any difference.
right, so, no, that's totally understandable, yeah. And I don't know enough about the opioid settlement dollars to know what the requirements are. I know they're pretty strict, I believe, you know, for what they can be used for, but.
So far, we haven't even spent the interest, would be my understanding, or this is the first.
This is the first,
Yeah, we haven't spent anything.
spent anything.
Is there gonna be an ongoing, I guess to all of you, is there gonna be an ongoing thing?
No, we're expecting to when we are in line to sustain it ourselves, Prairie Ridge is, you know, for the ongoing. And so we're just looking at startup costs,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and this doesn't prevent, if Fort Dodge is looking for
I understand.
anything too, it doesn't prevent us having discussions in the future with them either. Cause yeah, I mean, I agree with you, I'm a half an hour closer to Fort Dodge than I am to Mason City, but.
Is Spencer the next closest place, or do they have anything to the
I don't believe
west?
Spencer has,
No,
well, not to my knowledge, they don't.
no,
I was just trying to think of the other
other direction,
directions.
yeah.
and-
Well, when we talked about it earlier, it was a function of would they be coming and the money's there, I don't mean to be flip about it, but the money's there, I guess I'm not.
Well, and it's from the lawsuit
Yeah.
settlements, so.
And the money is still coming in, we have not received all of our funds, it'll be coming till when, Todd?
I believe that we have on the longest one, an additional 6 years.
Yeah,
Not to mention not to mention the fact of the recommendation of the committee.
Yeah, and I agree with the comment, that, Mr. Nath, made, you know, Fort Dodge will probably make application. We actually came up with a good, what we believe to be a good system. Applications are due 2 times a year, and then we'll bring the, recommendations that we pass to the board, the following month. And so, it's set out on the website, that we have the county website. We came up with, all of the things. I think it was initially just a product of we have the money, but there isn't a lot of information out there how people can apply to get those funds. And now that we have that system up, I think we'll probably be receiving more, in the near future. I'm hoping so. I think it's obviously a problem that we have, and we share with all the other counties in the state. And so, looking at it from the standpoint of Prairie Ridge, you know, and I would encourage, Fort Dodge, I don't know the name of the facility down there, to make application for that as well.
Well, we'll need a motion to approve these 3 different requests from the 2 agencies. Yeah. Motion by Garmin,
I'll say.
second by Stecker. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, committee, for your work.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Resolution for you. You want me to put it down?
yeah, do you wanna announce that?
Oh, the resolution number I didn't realize it was a resolution.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring that to,
No.
put in the packet.
Do we gotta need to revote?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, we gotta do it
Alright,
by,
we're gonna revote. It's not official yet.
Just forget the last one.
Yeah, forget the last one. Okay, resolution 12-2-2502. Same motion and second,
Yeah.
okay. And we'll do a roll call vote then.
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin, Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Motion carried, it is now official.
It almost didn't pass.
Almost.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for coming in.
This is something.
Oh, okay.
My pen is dying.
Okay, what is this? So, discussion decision, EMA, emergency response and training complex building lease agreement and EMA coordinator office space. Is next on our agenda. Good morning, Carissa.
Morning,
Good morning, Krista.
how are you all?
Doing well.
Good.
You guys have the lease that you guys sent to us in front of you. Okay. So
Getting there.
following our attorney's review, the revisions we are requesting to ensure accuracy, financial clarity, and liability protection purposes of county emergency management. One of the things that we're talking about is having a separate lease agreement. Each entity should have its own lease agreement. This eliminates confusion about default, improves financial tracking, and keeps funding streams separately and clear. And then on page 1 of the very first page, the correct address. The lease currently lists an incorrect address for Kossuth County Emergency Management as 114 West State. It's actually 108 South Hall, Suite 2. Other than that, on page 2, number 2 is rent, request revision to reflect a fair and predictable lease, $12,000 per year for the first 5 years, optional renewal for an additional 5 years, 5% increase applied only at the tenant's discretion, and rent will be prorated based on the date of the signed lease. This ensures a fair start date and prevents overpayment for partial year. And then same page, number 6, utilities and access. If emergency management is responsible for paying utilities, the tenants shall have access to thermostat for temperature control, access to the camera system to monitor building conditions and equipment. This provides operational control to require that financial responsibility is assigned. So it is our responsibility to make sure our equipment is secured, especially when we have state assets there. We have had some things missing and have not been able to track down. Not only that, it makes IT spend time looking for things that I can do if we need to.
Do we have a copy of your proposed changes or just our copy in our packet?
Just our copy.
I can send these to you as well, that's fine, my apologies. Number 5, my insurance requirements in section 9. The landlord must be explicitly liable for parking lot ingress or egress due to the existing shared use agreement with the northern tenants in their strip mall. B, liability coverage levels. Emergency management will maintain current levels of general liability of $2 million and excess liability of $1 million. My clarification is requested on why emergency management would be required to hold higher liability limits than those carried by the county itself. And that's what I have right now for our changes based off our attorney's review.
The only one that I questioned was the prorated. I didn't think we were prorating that. I thought we were putting the entire amount in the budget amendment. Because really, this has been an ongoing thing. That's what we put in the budget, so
And that's fine, we can.
yeah, that was my only clarification there was,
Sure.
it was for the whole amount.
Can you,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you to repeat what you had said for rent for your request, cause I don't know if I caught all that.
So $12,000 per year for the first 5 years, not an annual renewal. Optional renewal for an additional 5 years, 5% increase applied at the tenant's discretion. by doing that, it helps with budgetary. When they're doing budgets.
Well, for one, your budget is due before ours, and like last year, we didn't get to this discussion until after, you know, your budget was done. I do think it is helpful that you kind of know going forward. We just need to make sure we talk about it, you know, in that fourth year, if that's approved, you know, to what we're thinking.
Absolutely.
If that needs to change, I mean, that's just my opinion.
This conversation has gone on so long, I can't even remember now why do we have different numbers as far as insurance goes?
I think when I asked the question, it's just kind of a typical lease.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily that it was meant to be different.
Okay,
I
That
think
answers
it was
the
a
question.
standard template.
It was just a standard thing, so, I mean, I
okay,
mean, that seems like a non-issue point,
Okay.
you know?
that's why I didn't remember anything, but,
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I had found out, that it was just kind of a standard thing, but,
good enough.
yeah. The separate leases, I think that's probably, I kinda am the one who suggested that because I think it clears it up, because like EMA is supposed to approve whatever lease going forward, and then we approve it, but EMS is different, E911 is different, I think it's just clearer if they have separate, and especially since, like the board, this board approves EMS lease. E911, they have their own board, so I think it just kinda makes sense. I don't think the Emergency Management Commission should be approving anything for EMS or E911. I think it's just clean.
Well,
It's
and
just cleaner.
if one of them, who knows, for regulatory reasons or just logistical reasons, one of them changes, then you gotta draw up a different.
It's forever, yeah, so I don't know, I just thought it was cleaner.
I think the splitting percentages might be, separate agreements isn't probably the end of the world, but I think having them all correlate together would be important, because if those percentages change for any reason, that would affect all entities, cause you're only talking about
You'd have to
the
be
same
specific, yeah.
space.
Right, but it's still, regardless, it would still be voted upon differently. You know, obviously EMA is not going to make a decision for EMS. EMS, they're advisory. I'm sure they don't wanna bring something different to the board that would affect emergency management. I mean, you know, it's kinda just all working together, but absolutely acknowledging that it's three separate things. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with like, you know, emergency management wanting to change, you know, the lease dollars, anything like that. It's just a cleaner way to do it, because their commission has to approve it. This board has to approve it. The advisory, EMS advisory, of course, they need to look at it, which I think you guys have. But this board ultimately approves it. Now 911, I know they had discussions about it, I don't know where they're at with it, because I haven't seen that come in. I don't understand why emergency management would be in charge of figuring out the lease for EMS and E911. That's my point of having three separate things.
E911 is when we've discussed it, one of the things that was in question was the insurance, the amount of insurance, and they were gonna go back to see what the cost would be on that, and if they needed, you know, that much insurance for such a small portion of the building, so, I think we could look at that too as a potential change for if we were to split them up, you know, maybe split up the insurance, you know, to kind of reflect their portion too.
I would think the insurance could be correlated with what the county already has right now and the discussion would be over.
Yeah, I mean,
It was just wrong.
yeah. But does EMS carry a different policy?
No.
So EMS is with the county, okay, so
Mhm.
really now, but 911, do they carry a
Yes.
separate?
Yeah,
They do care, okay, so it affects, okay,
That's,
It just affects them and even.
yeah, okay.
But
So
if
again,
it's
it
the
makes sense
same-
to be a separate list.
I think we should probably talk about the 5-year time period and 5-year renewal and I guess even the 5-year, or 5% per year increase at tenant's discretion. I don't know about that.
Rent increase at tenant's discretion? I was mulling that over in my head too a little bit,
and again, it can be a mutual, just a discussion between the board and the Revenue
Yeah.
Management Commission, it's just a figure that the attorney put in there to give us a start to work with. So,
Howard, you were gonna say something, couple minutes.
Well, I don't wanna disrupt the flow of what's going on. You referenced an agreement with the parking lot between the strip mall and this building. Who made that agreement? When was it made? What is the agreement?
there's a verbal, supervisors.
There's no formal agreement or anything at all. There was a lot of discussions about closing the parking lot so that it wasn't able to be used by the general public in that area, and that was not done. Those were multiple conversations years ago, but there was no,
There's nothing,
there's no formal.
we clean the parking lot, we take care of the parking lot, they use it at their convenience.
Yeah.
And I think when we had the talks with the attorney, I'm sorry, I forget his name, he, he just said because the parking lot is taken care of by the county and it kind of falls on both if something happens. Am I remembering that
Yes.
right? It falls on both the county and the tenants. Especially if they're coming to something, if I'm going to a meeting and I slip outside and I decide to, and I'm going to a meeting there, it's different than if I slip and fall and I'm going to the liquor store. It would be a difference of who's liable or sharing the liability. So, just clarifications.
Yep.
Just clarifications, so we're all on the same page, basically,
What is, I did read this, and I thought there, and I could be confused. What, was there a 90-day notice or before the end of the lease?
Previously, and yeah, I think the version we had was.
But now you're talking about a 5-year lease? So, am I wrongly under the impression that it was gonna be a 1-year lease and ongoing if neither party?
Automatically renewed
Yeah, that's.
for a
it was
90-day notice period. That's the way it was.
Why did you come back with the 5-year lease? It must have been some method to your madness. No,
It was
excuse my choice of words.
suggested.
One, makes it cleaner, two, it's easy for budgeting if the rent gets changed. Secondly, you have 90 days, so in 90 days, if you say we're not renewing it, that gives me 90 days to find something to replace and put place my equipment, move things, that is not
But-
given enough time. And that most generally, longer terms are usually done with county officials versus 1 year.
So how
It
much
just makes it
time
cleaner.
notice is in the 5-year lease?
And again, it's just an ongoing, and that's something that we did talk about, is how much notice, and again, we're willing to compromise and look at that. If you know at year 4 or year 5, you're not gonna let us be in there, then we have a whole year. I mean, that's just, we expect at least a good 6-month notice, because we have to find a place if you're not gonna allow us to be in that building.
And, you know, we have to remember that there's a lot of state's assets in that building, and those, we can't have them if we don't have, an appropriate place to store them. Those state's assets are important, to the entire county. I think we just really need to keep in mind the importance that, emergency management serves and the equipment that is there. You know, the importance of the EOC and having it located, and that changes if the lease all of a sudden is dropped, that changes, and that's an important thing that we have to keep in mind. That, I mean, we can't just leave emergency management out there high and dry. Not saying that would ever be the intention of this board, but 90 days, it's not enough to locate and house the things that they need, but, you know, I mean, I think that was the purpose of purchasing this building, you know, with those ARPA dollars, was so that we ensured that all of this equipment was housed properly, safely, not getting eaten by mice, things like that. So this is just protection. I think everybody could go along happily ever after, even if we didn't have this lease, but this lease was brought up. And I don't think it would be fair to ask emergency management to not come back and try and protect those assets that they're responsible for. So that is the main purpose behind everything that was possibly changed in that lease or asked to be changed, was just to protect the assets that's going to help everybody in Kossuth County whenever there is a disaster of any sort, preparation for disasters. This is a group effort, and it's a benefit for Kossuth County to have that building. Very thankful that we were able to spend ARPA dollars for that building. I just don't know why we would do 90 days when that pretty much leaves one of our own left out to dry. I just don't understand that, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I understand the concern of the not wanting to just have 90 days to change things. Being that it was set up to automatically renew, I think that was, if I'm remembering right in our discussions, that was there. I wouldn't imagine the board would ever come on day 91 and say, nope, we're not gonna renew you, nor would it come before the board unless the board had a desire to change something about the lease. I mean, it would just sit there and continuously renew, right? Yeah, that just automatically renew. It's like an employee contract. It just automatically renews unless.
Then there shouldn't.
So,
if that's not, then the 90 days part shouldn't be in there. If that's honestly what the point is.
Well, if something changes in year 2 or 3, this is our first time having a lease. That was, I'm just being devil's advocate here and saying this is what our discussion was. That if something changes in year 2 or 3, well then they're stuck in a lease for the next 2 or 3 years that they don't wanna be in. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
playing the other side here.
Hence
Yeah.
why the lease in some ways just really creates turmoil. And I don't really understand the purpose behind the lease, and I said the only reason I'm getting behind the lease is because of the rent and because that's going to further go into an account that will help with that building. Emergency management and emergency services for Kossuth County, it should be a joint effort. And none of us should stand in the way of that, ever. Because we need to look at the possibilities. God forbid there's a horrible disaster. I hope there never is for our community. But we need to plan for it regardless. And if we're gonna leave emergency management out there saying, well, sorry, I don't know, we might not renew this in, 90 days, you go find someplace else. That's not very proactive. That's not thinking, hey, I'm trying to protect Kossuth County. We need to have that best interest at heart. Is this lease necessarily the best interest at heart when we're saying 90 days?
Yeah, Amber, I don't think anybody up here is saying that
No,
we don't
I'm
wanna
just
support
speaking my
emergency
opinion.
management.
Well, I don't know.
or maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that's the intention of anybody here, so, that we don't need to be
I think-
prepared for emergencies. The reason that this lease came up was because the county made changes on a financial end. EMA came back and said, no, we have the authority to make decisions. The county can't tell them what to do as far as budget is concerned, taxing is concerned, et cetera. And so that caused a deeper dive into the code of Iowa. And are they a county agency, a Kossuth County agency? And they're not, they are a separate agency, which is what prompted the lease. And that was our discussions with Todd Holmes, with our county attorney, and that's why the lease came before us, and why we felt we needed a contract. Same with you, same with E911, is that they are a separate agency from Kossuth County Inc.
But why, but it's never worked that way. I mean, quite honestly,
I know it never has.
that's never, it's always been a joint effort with the care of, because that should be our concern.
And it still can be.
And we're supporting emergency management with county dollars because we have all these residents that deserve that.
And we support the hospital with county dollars too, but that doesn't mean
I'm
that.
not talking about the hospital.
I know you're not.
I'm talking about emergency.
I'm saying they're a
management.
separate entity from Kossuth County.
So I'm gonna answer that, I'm gonna make a
That's
statement
fine,
to that.
that's
So, we are separate, but we are still county, even though we have our own governing board, we are still part of the county, just like all the other emergency management agencies in the other county. They
Yeah.
are included as a county entity, even though they have their own board that makes their own governing decisions, they are considered county. Just because we're on the Iowa code as an entity, we are still considered county. We get the
yeah.
county insurance, we get the county benefits, we are still considered county.
I realize that.
Just the other, we can dictate our own other policies regarding emergency management if we want to. That's the only thing that's usually done.
I realize that, just a line got drawn in the sand of
Okay.
But it
a
doesn't
difference
need to be.
between, you're not the same as like EMS is a direct county agency.
The conservation board.
Conservation board is an
Assessors.
advisory board, we don't have to, you're not an advisory board, right? You are a commission that makes
Conservation
decisions. Conservation makes decisions, but we can't overrule, or they can't overrule our decision, I'm sorry. Right?
They don't have ultimate budget authority.
They don't have ultimate budget
We
authority.
approve their bottom line, but they are
Sure.
they are a decision-making body. But the point is, what I'm saying is, you said there's a line drawn in the sand, let's kick it. I don't want the line drawn in the sand, I want what's best for Kossuth County. I don't care about anything else, I want what's best for Kossuth County. And I think it's important to know that that building was purchased with ARPA dollar funds, federal funds, and it was for a good purpose. I don't want a line in the sand.
I
Because when it
didn't draw the
comes-
line,
I don't know
Yeah,
who did,
yeah.
and it doesn't matter. We gotta move forward with that, and honestly, what's being requested in that lease by the Emergency Management Commission is pretty reasonable. You don't want the 5 years, fine, but 90 days, that's just not enough. And are we really, when we say 90 days, what's behind that? And okay, it's just standard, okay, then so why do we have to have it in there?
90
It's
days is
just-
more than standard is 30.
Well, Kyle, we're not talking about somebody who's gonna get evicted from a rental house. We're talking about a place that's providing, equipment and an EOC and, a place for, if there's a disaster, if people need a place to go, they go there. The schools, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about displacing our own.
I'm not talking about displacing anybody.
Then the 90 days shouldn't be a big deal, to not have the 90 days.
You weren't sure why we had a lease to begin with, I was explaining to you why.
I know, I understand that, I still don't really think it's necessary, that's my opinion.
That's fine.
But I'm standing behind this board, and I've said that at every emergency management commission meeting. I stand behind this board, especially with the rent, because of protecting those assets that are in that building, with having money put away,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is responsible. And that's why I stand behind that, but I don't stand behind a line in the sand.
Maybe we need to have this conversation with our county attorney, because the county attorney is the one who suggested we have a lease.
No, we have the lease, we have it on the agenda for those changes.
Okay.
I think since there's requested changes that were not provided to the board in our packet before, we should take some time to review them and revisit this.
We'll
I'm
need
not
time to
interested
discuss
in
with
any
our,
action today.
yeah, we'll need time to discuss with our attorney as well to see what changes we can make to it, to kind of come to an agreement with the changes that she's requesting and stuff. You know, have it mutual and not, you know, just say, you know, we're gonna stick with our terms, or no, we're gonna go with their terms. We need to make it, you know, mutual. So I would say submit the, you know, the changes that you requested, give us some time so we can discuss it with our attorney and just kind of figure out where we can meet in the middle.
Okay, well, meanwhile, she's got a budget amendment, and that $12,000 is in there, so, I mean, keep that in mind.
And
Yeah.
we need that budget amendment because
Yeah.
that fund is negative because we have no lease agreements.
Well,
Again, we kick the can down the road.
like Kyle said, we can't make, you know, decision on something that we just,
Okay, what parts of what she said are you in agreement to? So let's have a starting point. I mean, there's no sense arguing about it, so what things that she brought up, so that when we talk to Todd, we can tell him.
Well, let's
Because the
start with
insurance,
something,
number
I was
one.
gonna say, let's start with insurance, I think that's simple. It should be the same numbers as what we have currently for our county policy.
Yep.
I don't think there's any disagreement in that, is there?
May I ask what the county policy is?
We've
They're
talked
not
about it so
different.
many times, I don't wanna quote something wrong, but, I mean,
I think it's what you have in there, what you
Currently.
put,
The 2 and 1?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. So, if it matches what we currently have, I don't think anybody intended the conversation to change our insurance thresholds, like. That's a simple one to me. The address change, sure, I
Well,
don't think anybody's fighting over an address.
which brings up the other part that's on here is, I've questioned Crystal why her office isn't over there. Why isn't she amongst where all of that stuff is, if there's ever, I mean, it's kinda like going back and forth, back and forth. She said she needed board approval to move her office over there. I guess I thought that was kind of the purpose of the whole thing, why we did that. So that goes in line with that address change.
So, I guess it was mentioned before and I didn't say anything to it, but I don't think moving the EOC over to that building was ever discussed or approved by the board. And I think that's something that really probably should be discussed at some point. I don't know if today's the day for it or not.
Well, no, but the reason for that is because
It's
that
not
over there
handicap
is,
accessible.
it's not handicap accessible, they
And
said
I
it, she
can't
can't
have
have
people
that.
and general public coming up those steps and falling and getting hurt.
The EOC used to be out of the sheriff's office, which is handicap accessible.
That changed when, that changed when,
That wasn't,
that
that when
changed
he
when
got
Dave
moved out of there,
Clinton
that
moved over
changed.
there.
I'm well aware of that.
And the EOC got moved over there after we did an EOC tabletop and it was identified, even one of the supervisors at the time was at our tabletop and agreed that it didn't belong up there.
Well, I don't think that was brought to the board as a whole. Do you think it was?
Who approves the EOC?
It's county emergency management commission,
Okay,
and it's the county EOC. We direct and coordinate the EOC for all the agencies to come together and manage a disaster.
and you need space, and with the changes that have went on over at the sheriff's office, and those changes, some of those changes even happened after Dave moved out and moved there, because space was an issue at the time. So I'm sure that didn't go away. The EOC should be at that complex. It is a large space where everybody can work and do what they need to do. I guess I don't even know why that would be even up for discussion.
Well, that's certainly a discussion we can have, I don't know if that was, I guess it, coordinator office space, maybe that was on the agenda.
It was.
Okay.
It was, and it only makes sense for her office to be there where everything's at. I don't know, I guess I feel like things have really been more difficult than they need to be, and we're partners. We work together. We all work together.
Well,
I guess I'll make a motion to postpone this topic for 2 or 3 weeks to have some more conversations.
You haven't gotten to everything that you wanted to possibly discuss as changes. We're not gonna move forward if we don't tell Todd what we want him to look at.
And again, negative balance in the fund because we don't have a lease. I don't like a negative balance.
No, nor should we have that. Nor should we keep pushing this discussion down the road.
for the rent portion, they're keeping that number the same, the actual rent, and they're increasing it 5% per year. Is that,
12,000 for the first 5 years, and then we can revisit for the next consecutive 5 years. So
what
it
was
could
with the
go up.
5%?
The 5% to go up, increase applied at the tenant's discretion, optional renewal for the additional 5 years with 5% increase at our discretion, or keep it the same at 12,000.
And we're almost.
And again,
Okay.
that's just the number that you
Okay.
put in there for us to have a conversation when
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time comes.
Yeah.
So.
And we're
instead of
almost
just
on the
leaving-
second year. I mean, it's,
We are
she's
halfway
working on
through the
her
first year.
budget, so we're already on year 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly,
Well, I'm not gonna agree to sign something that says that tenant's discretion.
I just,
And we can take that out, that's not.
We never should have put it in.
yeah, it probably shouldn't say tenants, just, I would agree with that, it probably shouldn't say that, but I think we need to give something so that, you know, for budget purposes, like right now, she's working on the budget again. I mean, I don't think we have any intention of changing that rent through our budget process. So, I mean, let's give something, 3 years. If you don't like the 5 years, I mean, we're already on year 2.
I would agree with the 3 years instead of the 5 years, cause in that way the conversation can start after 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, cause obviously we're gonna blink and we're gonna be at that 3rd year. I mean, really.
And I would say take out the 5% and take out the tenant's discretion as well.
Okay. Tammy, you writing that down?
Yeah, 3 years instead of 5, take out 5% and remove tenant's discretion.
Were there any other things, I mean, the heat,
all utilities,
when they pay the utilities, they should have some access to the heat and be able to, when they know they have a meeting, like, you know, when people go in there, to be able to adjust that. And the other thing too was the cameras and having some kind of access with that, which I'm sure Derek would be happy to work with Chris on. But they're protecting those assets, like she's responsible for that, so if something happens to anything that's in there, you know, ultimately it's Carissa's responsibility. So I don't think having access to be able to view that is anything too much to ask for.
so if I could ask, who has access to the thermostat now? It sounds like
No,
a marital argument or something.
Oh,
And
it's just-
Will has access, and he is very good about answers, but if we have something going on, like at night or something, and he has to come in here, he said, to turn it up, so I hate, you know.
It's controlled by the computer,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
that's.
So yes, so I don't.
I don't know if you were turning it to 68 and Phil comes in and turns it to 69.
No, we have actually just been leaving it alone and
Okay.
just, it is fine. The
Okay.
biggest thing for me is the cameras. Because again, we've had
That-
equipment disappear and,
If they're paying the utilities,
And then
I don't
heat it
care.
how you want, I mean.
yeah, you gotta take it away from Will and they're paying the utilities, but
We'd have to look at how that works, cause if it's run by the computer, if we give her access to, you know,
I'm sure we'll do.
yeah.
take the computer out
or
of it.
even if we can come up
Well, I
with,
don't
hey,
think
if
you
we know
can
this is
now.
going on, just we just need to come up with a process of, even if he can still control it or whatever, we just, it's a process, so.
Well,
I know Phil's here, but I guess this whole conversation started as an attempt to have all 3 entities listed here having a conversation and come to agreements, and I don't know why we're talking all these changes without the entire group here for that conversation. I don't know.
That was the hope, that the three entities could get together, come
That
up
was
with a
a
lease
long time
agreement and bring that to us, so we weren't,
That's kinda hard to do when we're fired back with, I have a separate board, and, the supervisors help me, that's kinda hard to do. Is there something going on? You have something to say?
I just asked Phil, what's he pay for rent at that building, and he said he didn't know.
He was a part of the discussion when it was divided out, the $20,000 and the percentages. I do believe that was a discussion that took place in this boardroom,
Yes.
and that was what needed to take place as the other. That was part of it. So we did have that conversation. Bill, you were here and you guys worked on
This has been
the,
going on for a year and I don't have any idea where we're even at. I don't even know what the utilities is gonna be. This discussion just never happens, it just keep getting kicked down the road.
the utilities take place through the auditor's
And
office,
if
and
we're
that was gonna get
now
paid
you're
in
talking
that.
about moving an office space for one person into a 14,000 square foot building. I'm not gonna pay my portion of utilities for a warehouse that's now turned into an office space and it's kept at a higher temperature. There's a whole
I
lot of
don't think
discussion
that
that has
was
to
the
happen
intent.
here until you guys make a decision of what you're gonna do at the EMA. Then I can decide what we're gonna do on our side.
Oh,
I could see that, I guess.
I think there's a lot of pieces that need to mesh
decision
together
was
here
made
to
on
make
based
this
on
work, and
warehouse
it's not
space.
right now.
The lease is based on warehouse space, and you don't wanna pay higher utilities if the space is heated to a higher temperature, is what I'm hearing.
that wasn't ever the intention. This is really getting skewed, and the point is to say that we weren't ever together on this, that is wrong. Because I think, Phil, you and Carissa kinda talked quite a bit about the space and kinda mapped out how much space you had, how much she had, how much 911 had. That discussion took place and then that decision was made in this boardroom and you were present, Carissa was present, and so was Derek.
Correct,
And you
that was
guys
on the
agreed on
splitting the utilities based on the usage of the building, correct?
And the rent. And there was a decision made on the split of the rent and the split of the utilities. That decision was made in the boardroom. That was made, all three of you were here. How else would we know that her split was $12,000?
Correct.
So you knew all along what your split was, and Derek knew his, Derek's was 2,000.
I knew we had a split of percentages, but I don't remember what the dollars is, I don't have the lease with me.
Yeah, well, that was decided in the boardroom.
But my point was, if we're gonna change the purpose of the building, the function of the building, then we need to revisit what.
I thought all along, I'm questioning the office space. I thought all along Carissa's office space was supposed to be in there. I thought all along. I'm the one who put the office space on the agenda, not Carissa, me.
Yeah, well, and I think the office space logistical move or not, or whatever, that, yeah, it's connected, but we're talking about, you're right, Amber, I mean, that has already been decided, is how that's being split out. If an entity has a problem with the changes logistically on how the building's being used, I guess we can have that conversation, and if,
Oh, I don't think we had a problem with that.
Yeah.
I put it on there.
right,
Because I asked her, I said, I don't understand why you're here when the EOC is here. Like, why wouldn't you be here and have all your things here? Like, it doesn't make sense for that stuff to be up here when it all could be located in one spot. I'm just
I think,
trying to
I
make
think
sense
we can
here.
work that out, I would assume you, Krista and Phil, you guys can talk
Yeah,
and work that out.
absolutely,
Okay,
Yeah.
alright,
absolutely.
well, we'll need a draft to approve of new language, so let's send thoughts to,
There is a motion on the floor.
is there a motion?
Mhm.
Oh, you did motion, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I guess, and I brought up, we had discussed, he wanted to table it or postpone it, and I said, well, we haven't talked about each of those points yet, and
Well,
it's silly to postpone.
really, we
something.
should have let there be a second and shouldn't have had discussion when Kyle made a motion, that, let's, either it goes or somewhere and let it die, but, Kyle has a motion on the floor to postpone the discussion for, what was it?
2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
I don't think we need 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, but let's let there be a second first,
Okay.
before we have more discussion. Is there a second to that motion?
I would second it for discussion, but I could let it die for discussion too, is see what our process is gonna be.
Okay.
I'll let it die and then we'll discuss what the process is gonna be.
Okay, so motion, you're not seconding, is that what I
Correct.
heard, okay.
Die for lack of
Motion died for lack of second.
Okay.
Nothing to do with, I'm all for moving things forward as quickly as possible, maybe not waiting 2 or 3 weeks. I don't like hearing that everybody suddenly, and Phil, I'm not attacking you, I don't like everybody saying, well, one of my questions before we got very far into this is everybody does agree. You're coming here with a lease and want us to sign the lease, and then when is EMS and 911, it's gonna add up to 20,000. You gotta agree on that ahead of time, don't come in here and say, no, I didn't agree to that, I'm not saying anybody said that, but we don't need to broker that deal, you guys can broker that deal. Well, maybe we do, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there, but
I think
it was
it already
my
has.
understanding it was gonna be $20,000.
I think it already has been brokered, hasn't it? I mean, cause we know what ours is.
Well, he just said he didn't know what his was, and he didn't make it clear he was talking about just utilities. He said, I don't know, I don't have my lease in front of me. I understand you guys understand, but does everybody else understand?
It
And
was-
20,000 without an increase in 3, 5, or 10 years, or whatever it is, we're gonna get stuck with a fictitious $180,000 roof bill that it's gonna have to be paid, so, I don't know, I don't have a number in mind, 20,000's fine, if somebody agreed to that, I'll stand by that, but.
There are minutes
There
that.
are.
I'm sure
that
there
show
are,
that.
I'm sure there are, there are minutes that say what the split is too.
Mhm.
Yep.
I understand the difference in heating in utilities, anyway,
I think these are minor changes, and I'd like to see us just turn it around and say, okay, these are the things that we agree to or don't, and then that way, next week we can sign the lease. I mean, this just shouldn't have to be that big of a deal, especially when we're just pretty much, we should all be on the same page and.
Well, I think we still need to have Todd take a look at it, cause he was the one that drafted up this lease.
I agree,
Yeah.
but give him those changes is all I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, tell him what Carissa wants and say, what our stance is,
Right.
so that he can,
so when are we gonna hear what EMS wants and what 911 wants?
911 board, Josh maybe can talk to them, they met on it, what was decided there.
So they didn't have a problem with the split of the utilities and the storage space. They didn't have a problem with that split.
Just
of
insurance.
those. It was just insurance was the biggest thing. If the insurance, because the lease had such a high requirement that they were gonna get a quote on it, and if it's gonna be too much, then they were gonna consider pulling out and finding a storage different place for it.
Okay.
But if we're looking at adjusting that requirement for insurance, I'm sure E911 will be in agreement with that and may move forward with the lease. I think the biggest contention was the cost of the insurance for it. That they didn't need to have that high of a cost for just a small amount of that building, which is
Right.
very understandable.
It is
That's-
understandable, it is,
So-
it is.
Yeah, so I think that's where we were at, so we'll
So-
have to go back to E911, discuss, the office space thing, I mean, Phil brought up a good point, and maybe E911, board may have, you know, similar concerns about, you know, paying utilities for someone to have an office space there when it was originally just for storage, because they truly are just storing some small equipment there. So there need to be conversation for that as well, so, and I
Right, and hence why it shouldn't have to be, like, the process shouldn't have to be halted. Chris is bringing these, I mean, let's just get going with it. If 911 only has the issue with the insurance, well, that can be changed. Cause those splits have already been figured out.
Yep.
So it would be silly to say, oh, we gotta wait 2 to 3 weeks. No, let's get this done so we can get the money in that account like we planned on and like we discussed. And go from there. And as far as EMS, I don't know, this board approves his.
I don't know why I need a lease, just to approve the amounts I have to pay and I'll pay it. I don't understand why I have a lease as a county department. Just say that I pay this percent of utilities and I pay this much for upkeep on the building and just be done with it. Why do I need a lease? Because I'm not gonna go buy insurance, I'm gonna stay on the county insurance. I don't think I should have to have a lease. No other county department has a lease for their office space anywhere in the county.
Can you guys answer that? I can't.
I don't think we needed to have a lease for EMS as a county department, it was because this one agreement was supposed to incorporate and represent the split between 3 different entities, which is why you were listed, but I don't think you
If we're
need.
gonna split it up, just say this is what I.
But I
want.
don't
Send me the
know
invoice,
if
I'll
Todd
pay
would
it.
be in agreement with splitting it up into that or not, I mean, all of these things, to my knowledge, have not been run by him, is that correct? All your proposed changes?
No, we'd have to bring it here first. I mean, we would have to bring it here first. I mean, obviously for the conversation.
Well,
Next,
And
Let's-
I
let's
don't know
next-
either, I can't answer the question that Phil said. I mean, I
can
can't.
next
If
week
he's
we
covered
have
under
it
the county
on the
insurance,
agenda again
who's
and
signing his portion
have
of the
Todd
lease?
present for it, or ask him if he'll be around. And then that way we
Which
can,
puts the board responsible for your insurance. So do you see why that just doesn't make sense to have it all intermingled? I don't know.
then we'll just be
I just think it
done.
doesn't make sense.
We're gonna have a discussion with, potentially with Todd next week if he can be here, about the lease and,
Do you want me
You have to
to?
wait till next week to present the changes you
No.
wanted to review?
I will send him these now, and, if anybody wants to give him feedback, feel
Sure.
free. I will put the same wording on the agenda for next week, and then you guys can decide what you're gonna do at that time.
is that the request
Sounds
there, or-
This is the information Krista just gave me of the changes she would like to see.
oh,
okay,
And you can,
can you send that
agree
to
that
us
5% they can come out and we're good with that,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
send it to all of you as well.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, I think that's enough of that topic for today.
Yeah, I think so. And we can, it's gonna be on next week then.
Okay,
Okay, good.
we do, thanks for coming in, Chris and Phil. We do have budget allocation requests that were supposed to start at 8:45. So we got several things in front of that yet, but hell, I know Healthy Harvest is here. Is Nyakog here? Nyakog's here.
Tyler's here for drainage.
And Tyler's here for drainage, okay. We are running behind.
Well, let's just keep on with the agenda.
Okay,
Yeah,
Are we gonna set the time, date and time for the solar ordinance?
Well,
okay,
Apparently there's some issues.
so, do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I visited with Corey and I have talked to a couple other counties in the past week, in regards to going through the process of drafting a solar ordinance. Really in short, what our county has failed to do, walking through this process, is nothing ever went to the planning and zoning commission to have them recommend an ordinance, much the same we did with the pipeline, much the same we did with the wind. That's just our process of going through our zoning ordinance, in order to amend that, it has to go through the planning and zoning commission first. And then they make a recommendation to the board of supervisors with what they think is good, and then the board of supervisors can change that as we will and draft it. And publish it, whatever. So our process has not been correct. And I know Corey, I asked Corey to check in with, onto that for me, and you agree with that, what I just said? Okay, so, so this is gonna, we need to have a meeting set up with the planning and zoning commission to have them recommend something to us. I mean, that is the next step. That being said, it's impossible for us to, have anything published or amended or anything by the first of the year. And so then, which is the end of our moratorium. So that being said, we have to extend the moratorium. I asked Corey to look into that for me as well. And we need to decide how long we wanna do that for. And so that, I hate to be that, to say that, but that's where things are at. We haven't met our legal processes.
How long does it need to be extended?
Well, how long can, it really, whenever the planning and zoning commission meets, they can recommend it to us right away. We can then set the date and time, have that discussion, and,
Well, that's gonna be happening.
I mean,
3 months maybe?
3 months,
I don't know.
2 months?
That 3 months is gonna be eaten up with a lot of budget discussion and stuff. too.
Well, we're gonna
So,
fit it in there.
We're gonna,
I don't care, my opinion, not my dictate, my opinion is, I'm not interested in extending this 6 months, it's time to be done with this. I don't care if we're doing budget.
I don't think there's any reason we can't do it in 3 months, so let's shoot for, well, that would put us through March 31st then.
So I have a question, so it goes to the planning and zoning and they recommend we have an ordinance, that's when we can finalize the wording in that ordinance, we can't do anything before that?
Yes.
Are they gonna quantify, is the planning and zoning gonna quantify these setbacks, or give us?
Yeah,
Give us a recommendation?
their job is to do the research and recommend a number.
Okay.
However much or little research they wanna do, but they recommend something.
Do you know when you might meet?
I don't. That would be set up.
You wanna get a hold of Brian Toole then, I think he's the chairman and
Yeah, I would say so,
Like-
it should get set up soon.
soon. So,
That's something we can attend if we just wanna
oh
hear
yeah,
what they
yeah,
have
oh
to
yeah,
say.
yep, it's public meeting.
Yeah, if you can keep us informed.
Yeah,
of
if
that.
you would just let us know when that is.
So Corey did send a sample resolution to extend the moratorium that is in your board folders. Do you want that on the agenda for next week?
yes,
Yes, we have to.
Yeah, just make it for 3 months then, or through March 31st, please. So, there's some other things in the solar topic I was gonna update you on other counties that are working on things, but I'll do that during board discussion at the end.
Okay.
So we can keep rolling.
Corey, you will make that change and then resend it to me. You'll make that change on the resolution and send it to me. Okay, thank you.
Alright, we'll move on. Move on from that then, thanks for.
Skip Doug's or not?
Let's just keep going.
Yeah, why don't you call Doug up, and we can, how long is the drainage, the Idell's?
I think I could do it pretty quick.
Why don't we just, why
Five
don't,
minutes
why don't we
for
just
all
go ahead
three,
and-
I think.
let's go ahead and do that
we are
quick
up
while we're
to
waiting for Doug.
the, drip skippers and, so. Alright, thanks.
You should, under 10 minutes,
Oh,
Yeah, so whatever.
but he.
Good morning all,
Good morning.
Hi.
here for, hand these out, this is another one of the Idell's water quality projects that they have requested that the
county use its abilities for, essentially the record keeping and bid opening process, for this. This is a saturated buffer project. It is, on the outlet of a private tile system, not actually part of any districted, facilities.
Multiple private.
Yes, there is quite a few that are coming into that. As it is a saturated buffer system, again, there are structures put in place that are, act as drawdowns that feed that to feeder lines that go through the banks of the natural creek there. All funded by IDELs, all funded by the state, not any ask of the county really, other than to just use its capacity to set a bid opening, review the bids that come in, and submit that back to the state. So the discussion that I had with IDELs and internally, the tentative request for a bidding date was January 20th.
Okay.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
It's on the bottom right corner.
Yeah, you can
so
read that.
Right.
It's tiny, but
So,
I would
okay,
imagine we'll have budget stuff, but we should be able to
That's
fit
fine.
that in there.
it's not gonna be long.
So you need a motion to set that?
Motion to
Yeah,
set
yep, and-
date, time,
Date and time.
date and time,
What time?
I,
9?
sure, 9, 10 o'clock.
9 o'clock,
something like
January 20th.
I'll make a motion for 9 o'clock, January 20th.
I can second that.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of setting that date and time, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
that.
And then we need to set,
Do you have dates for 40?
do you have dates and times for 40?
I do not, Tammy, I apologize, we hadn't discussed anything there, there are signed official, there are wet signed official ones. This one needs to be at least 10 days from the filing of these reports. These are for the contract completion for Reitzel's and Lubenthal's portions of the 40 and 42 project, to satisfy 468.101. There are completion reports attached to these outlining the different contract amounts and change orders. There was, I think lateral 40 was approximately 4% overbid, and lateral 42 was just slightly under. That was to match planned quantities to the actual construction quantities. The overage on 40 was representative of the connections between the old system and the new system, once it was decided to keep the old one. We've also tabulated the construction damages that are there. That's our starting place for recommendations that can be adjusted at the hearings. So that will need to, again, that will need to be at least 10 days from the acceptance and when notice is published and sent to the affected landowners. The code states that only those that are affected, those that had construction done on them, receive an actual notice. In this case, I think with the size of the watershed being relatively small, I think it hits just about everyone that's in that district anyway. So, I don't think we have anything to worry there about over or under noticing. So, Tammy and I had not discussed dates, open to that. They are technically two separate projects, two separate contracts, but my recommendation is to hold those completion hearings, I mean, if they're staggered 5 minutes or what have you, just so that they're at the same time, we bring the landowners in just the once.
Okay,
Um,
so we're
so
looking
that's be
at
at least 10 days from now.
10 days from when at least 10 days
Notice.
from notice. So typically, I recommend 2 weeks, 14 days to get that and to get back on the. So yeah, the 16th would be the soonest.
Otherwise, we'll get into the week of Christmas and.
Does it have to be published too?
Yes,
Okay, so published, that's only a Thursday, so you gotta count 10 days from that Thursday.
From
The-
4th,
Well, no,
Or no.
it's not gonna be able to be
from
published
the
till
11th.
11th.
So early, yeah, as early as we can do is 23rd then.
Then we'll probably meet at the beginning of January.
Have to be first meeting in Jan, well,
No,
we wouldn't wanna do that.
That's a
Or the
big,
first Tuesday in
Well, it
January.
doesn't have to be the
January
first one, probably the second
sixth.
Tuesday.
we're
so
not
it'd be the-
meeting, yeah, cause we're not meeting
Yeah,
the
it'd be
first
the sixth.
Tuesday, we're meeting that Friday.
January 6th, maybe?
Well, we're still meeting the 6th of January, aren't we?
Yes.
yeah,
That's the first Tuesday in January.
It's the second Tuesday on the calendar, is the first Tuesday we'll meet.
No,
No,
sixth is the first Tuesday of the month.
yes,
We're not having the meeting on December
30th.
30th,
Right,
because we're having a meeting on January 2nd.
right,
correct.
So,
But we would still have a meeting the 6th,
correct.
so why don't we do it for the 6th?
okay,
Okay,
What time?
both of them?
yes. And I think, like I said, if you stagger them, the 5-minute start time, do 40 at, say 10 and
10
the
and 10:05.
10, 10:05.
That'll work.
I'll make that motion.
Do we
Okay.
have to accept the completion reports in this motion too?
Correct, yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
so
yes.
it's the completion reports and set the date times for those two times.
January 6th at 10 and 10:05. Okay,
Can I have two separate motions?
alright, we're
Yeah,
gonna set
I'll make two separate.
Okay.
DD 40 at 10 and Kyle made a motion, we need a second.
I'll second.
Second by Wactor.
For both, Josh?
yes.
Okay, all, any discussion on the dates and times or the completion report? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you all.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler.
You got, okay,
I just waited since we were in the middle of that.
Sure.
discussion.
Oh, she's okay.
Talk to you later.
alright, have a good day. Okay, so Doug, we are up to you, good morning.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. We have, I misplaced my paper here. What's first? Groom trail for Kossuth County Drift Skippers and the Snow Eagles.
Yes, this is a annual
Thank you.
request from the Kossuth County Drift Skippers, which I call the south half of Kossuth County Snowmobile Club, and the Lakota Snow Eagles, which is kind of the north half of the county snowmobile clubs. They work in combination with each other, and they have trails that they have that they groom during winter months. In fact, I saw one out yesterday. They request a period of December 1 to March 31. It's been a while since they've been able to groom a trail on December 1.
Yeah.
But anyway, to make a long story short, this is the same trail system that they've groomed for many years, and I'd recommend that the board would approve of these agreements. We do have the certificates of insurance on file, we have all the necessary paperwork, and there's two separate motions, one for the drift skippers and one for the Lakota Snow Eagles.
I can make a motion to approve your two separate
Yeah.
motions there at the same time.
Drift Skippers first,
However the board would like to.
unless you wanna do the Snow Eagles. No.
No.
Yeah, we'll do the Drift Skippers first.
You wanna just do one at a time?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Drift skippers.
drift skippers.
Drift Skippers, alright.
I'll second.
Second by Garmin. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Now we need one for the Snow Eagles.
I'll make a motion for the Snow Eagles.
Motion by Wactor,
I can second.
second by Haas. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion's carried.
Okay, very good. Carter, then if you would sign, it's the second page there and second page on this one, please. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Gravel pit agricultural land leases.
We do not have any leases, we're still waiting on,
Okay.
I think there's 2 of them.
Any right of way?
We do not have any requests for work in the road right away, however, we are, required, if we're gonna have a letting in March for resurfacing, we need to have plans to the Department of Transportation, next Tuesday. So we have our plans completed, they've been reviewed, and if the board would sign, these plans, then they can be let, next week. So the location map kind of shows, where they're at, and then, anything,
Sign here.
yeah, if you just sign the top one there, Carter, and pass it on, please, I appreciate it. And there should be 4 sets of plans.
Okay. Anything for discussion?
Just go over a couple of things. The annual county engineers conference is this week. The office staff will be attending that. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be returning Friday afternoon. Lisa will be in the office, but other than that, the staff is short. I did include in your folder just a brief summary of the snow removal ordinance. It has not changed. If the board would like me to, I can certainly read the 14 points, or if you'd like to just review it yourself, however you would like to do it. But I think it's important for everybody to know that Kossuth County has a level of service and ordinance that establishes the level of service for the maintenance of secondary roads. Our time in that ordinance is 5 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night for our normal snow removal. And we do paved roads first and gravel roads second. So. But the rest of those is on there. If anybody has questions, they certainly can. Call me up, any board members. I did purchase a Skyjack for the road department. It's a used 2016 JLG Skylift. Asking price on it was $5,500. We have a 2011 Skyjack that is in need of some repair. They did trade it in. This is coming from Ziegler Caterpillar. They traded in $2,000, gave us $2,000 credit. So I purchased that. If anybody on the board has concerns with that $3,500 purchase, please let me know. Burgess, the junkyard up at the northwest corner of the county on Highway 9. I have been communicating with Mr. Burgess, and he is getting things cleaned up there. I think just kind of as a mention, I don't know if anybody from the Board of Supervisors has heard, but it's a pretty newsworthy topic for the state of Iowa. For the state this year, as of today, there's been 250 fatalities so far this year on Iowa roadways. As compared to 2024, that number was 309. And you have to go back to 2020 to even have below 300. And this is a very significant number because if you look at the crash history from 1925 to 2024, annually, You have to go back to 1925 to even be below 300. So something is going on that is good, obviously. Hopefully, we can continue that trend, but there's education, there's enforcement, there's engineering, there's a lot of things that contribute to this, and motorists, driving habits. So, I think it's very newsworthy. If we can keep fatalities reducing on this rate, it would be great. But just as a reminder to everybody, seat belts, that's one of the cheapest life insurance policies of a person driving an automobile. All of the people that are in the automobile, if you wear your seat belts, that helps tremendously on any kind of a motor vehicle accident. So, anyway.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
I just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of it, and we'll see what happens at the end of the year.
Quick question, 10 days ago when you quoted a number at your meeting, what was it?
244, I think is what it was.
It seemed like there's been a rash.
There must have been a fatality in Humboldt County and Buchanan County last week.
And this is calendar year information.
Correct.
So we still have 4 weeks to go.
We do, but we're still under that.
Yeah, I know, I
200.
don't wanna focus on the negative,
No. We're still under that 261, and if you look at, I mean, there's some things, if you just look at 261 in 1925, 667,000 vehicles registered. The highest year was 1970, there were 912 fatalities, and in that year, there was 1,840,000 vehicles registered. In 2022, 3,738,000. So the number of vehicles registered in the state of Iowa has increased significantly. And then if you look at the miles of vehicle, what they call vehicle miles traveled, in 1970, it was 16,000. In 2022, it was 33,000. So
Those are billions, I think.
yeah, that's his, I'm sorry, yes, that would be billion, 32. I'm looking at, some things.
Zeros missing.
Zeros. But anyway, it's really an astounding fact. No one's saying everything's solved, but there are some things, I know the Iowa Department of Transportation's been doing some safety measures on a lot of their roads. Let's just hope that we can continue to see that.
Like the cell phone thing was
Hands-free may,
yeah.
but the hands-free went into effect July 1, the law.
Right.
And unfortunately, I still see people using
Right.
it. We are still trying to complete some details with asphalt. They are crushing at McGuire's, although with this snow and this weather forecast, that might be short-lived. We're reviewing applications for opening in Algona. I did put an offer out to a person at the Lakota shop, and I think that we'll probably have that filled at this time next week. Working on the engine braking ordinance. The contract, the handbook contract discussion. If the board would be okay, I think that the first meeting in January, the board will give a holiday schedule for all employees. If we could add, I guess, my question, would be to the board, our current practice in the secondary road department is to have Martin Luther King, that calendar day, not be a holiday for the road department, but they have what we call floating holiday, which allows them to choose which day they would like to have their 8 hours off. If it would be okay with the board, I would like to add that language to your resolution so that it does talk about, the holidays given and, somehow put the floating holiday in there to take care of that.
I think that only makes sense.
So we don't have a resolution we pass for the holidays, it's just a motion.
Okay, or add it to the motion.
Okay,
What-
perfect.
Yep.
Whatever action the board takes, it does not matter to me,
No.
I guess,
And the rationale, I'm just making sure is that it could snow that day and you guys might have to work.
correct, yeah. There are times where it snows or we need to be out cleaning up roads from previous snows. And, the men then work, they get paid time and a half. This way it would just be a regular 8-hour workday and they would get to take the time off when they choose. All right, well, we will work on that. I do have some other things that that I've tried to bring to the board's attention, and I'd just like to kind of chip away at that every couple of weeks to see how the board would like to handle it, and if we need to add it to the handbook, we can, or we can have some sort of policy set up, but address a few things
Sure.
that are different, so.
Yep.
Okay. Then there is a comprehensive plan meeting for the Waste Management Association. That's on the 15th of December. I'm getting some invites out so that we can get that taken care of. And then the transfer station, it would be December 24. They are planning to close at noon, and they will be closed Christmas Day, the 25th, and New Year's Day, January 1 of 2026. The 2026 is a hard one for me to get used to. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago when we were just turning to 2000. I must be getting old.
You are getting.
All right. That's all that I have.
Alright, well, thank you,
You bet.
have a good week. Alright, we can go to our, oh yeah, we'll take a quick break and,
Sorry.
Thank you.
thank you.
I won't be gone long.
Yeah, I gotta get new ink, I ran out of ink for my
Okay.
pen.
Been that long of a day, you ran.
Been a long day, Lainey.
Lori, do you have a second? I want to introduce you to Andrea, she's the health.
Stay and watch the phones.
You know, my project. There's a bar that, yeah, county librarian. Yes. Nice to meet you.
Morning, neighbor.
Hello.
Me? What? My life.
Celebrate.
No, we'll have it on the agenda next week to do it, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I would say maybe. Yeah.
Sorry, hello. My favorite. Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
I had to find out how to the computer.
Yeah, I don't know where next, but just like.
No, 1 year.
Brand new truck.
They ran the test on it. Good.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Oh, there's
I could've brought you a library back. I didn't know how we felt about this.
Series kind of thing, or like
Oh, yeah.
one day kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
We haven't got it for a while.
Well, my neighbor.
I absolutely. No.
That's one of the first things I learned.
Through, that West Dairy grant, so we did get some for Ellie Martin.
Right?
Yeah, we must have to, like, in the county. Have that thing around. It's pretty, yeah, they're not super, and, it's also nice for the.
Not really, I was like scrambling, so I was like,
Okay,
that's what, I looked like it last year, and I was like, oh, then it's.
yeah.
So do I pay for that? I think everyone in town.
I know. Yeah, freak out. It's okay, we get it, yeah, thank you for that.
Eating up there, and bringing material. We applied to the sewer. Spread things out a little.
It's so down.
Everything, people today. Send stuff out, and then, yeah, we'll figure out the times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get some coffee warm.
Yeah, I just got some out.
Good, how are you? Cold. Yeah. It's kind of cold in here sometimes.
Alrighty. Joanne, Andrea, you guys will be up first. So. Okay. I know we're just so terribly interesting, but I'm sure you wanna go on to other things in life.
But seriously, this is way past Bodie time even.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What have you got for us today?
Well, thank you for having us. I'm Andrea Evelsizer, and I'm the Executive Director for Healthy Harvest of North Iowa, and Joanne, of course, you all know her, so she's here as a board member and a community member for Kossuth County. So I wanted to first thank you for your contribution to our work with your last year's budget. As you can see, I put together a summary, and we have been able to do a lot of new things in Kossuth County, and a lot of it is attributed to the support that you guys gave and being able to prioritize some of our work in your county because of that support. Obviously, the farmers market demonstrations and the work we've been doing with the farmers market has been ongoing for many years, but we were able to come to the market an extra time this year and do some demonstration and cooking activities at the market this year. We've also were able to support a Field to Fork event that you guys hosted. Joanne might tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I can insert a little bit about that. We had our very first Kossuth County farm to table dinner. It was a huge success. We've sold out 50 tickets. It was a sit-down meal, $75 tickets, and it was a collaborative effort between the Bancroft Distillery, Sarah Preston, and Preston Farms up in Soy City. It was held in rural Soy City. And then Bodie's Moonlight Gardens and AK's Chrome Kitchen came together. It was a delicious dinner, but it was also just really, really fun to have one of those events which we know are extremely popular here in Kossuth County using Kossuth County producers and distillers. So we had our first one, we hope to do another one.
we don't know how often we'll have them, but we're hoping annually at the very least and moving that around. So anyway, and we've got some great consulting, from Healthy Harvest for that, because there is a plan and a process to getting these things done, and, so I really wanna thank them for that, and it was a great first successful event.
Yeah, that's one of the events that we have a toolkit or a planning manual for communities to use, because our intention is to, you know, coach and help the communities to take those types of initiatives on so that it's more, you know, grounded in the community and it's like owned by the community, and we can kind of help and coach along the way. So that was a really great event. Also, one of your local producers, Farmer Sarge's Orchard, received some grant funding through Choose Iowa, so we attended that event and were able to lift up that exciting opportunity for him, and that is a nice economic opportunity for the community as well. And we are working on some different grant funding. Many of the things I've mentioned already are partially funded from other grants already, but the funding that you guys provide helps us to match and show some local support when we're applying for other grants, and we are applying for a grant with the Community Foundation to do a project actually with the library, so I was very excited.
Great to have the librarians here while we're talking about it.
Partially with the library, partially with the farmers market, but also bringing more educational activities around food, nutrition, local connections to farms and that kind of thing. So we have applied for a grant through the Community Foundation to purchase a blender bike, which is a bike, a human-powered bike that blends up different tasty treats, and we've done smoothies and salsas and different things like that, and we have a lot of recipes on our website and a lot of resources that connect to the local farms and to the farmers market and things like that. So we're hoping that if we're granted that grant, that we'll be able to work more closely with the library and with the farmers market. We do own, Healthy Harvest does own one blender bike that we do right now. We're bringing it around to all the communities, but having them in the community and being able for other partners to use that while, you know, if we're not here, or we can provide some educational programming, but other community members and other organizations can use that as well. Let's see, we all continue with our local food guide as we've had in the past, so you guys have multiple farms listed in the food guide. We print 10,000 copies of these and share them around throughout North Iowa. As you might remember, we covered 9 counties, so that information about the farmers goes far and wide in our region, and it gives people the opportunity to find places to buy local food. And then also Joanne, as part of our board, has been a good source of local leadership, and we are going to be looking for another board member in the area, hopefully. Well, we're looking for a couple new board members on our board, but would be, if anyone has ideas of anyone who might be interested in being on the Healthy Harvest board, we welcome input into that too, because we will have some turnover at the end of the year. So
maybe if you're finishing up another board opportunity, you want to try a different one. If you know anyone,
I gotta run.
that'd be great. Not like you don't have enough on your plate. I would love to say just a quick thing about their support for our farmers market. Our farmers market continues to grow. We had about 20 different vendors this year. Not all of them were there all of the time. Some of them just do, like Mr. Peaches only comes during the month of June and early July, and then he leaves. We have a lot of crafters that come and go, bakers that come and go, growers. But it's great to have that big of a group. Wednesday market also added some additional vendors, and so we continue to be a draw for people to come downtown and shop, to have that access point for local foods, especially for those who receive the farmers market nutrition coupons, the vouchers that you can get for WIC participants and senior citizens that meet a certain level of income. The only place they can redeem those is at a local farmers market for fresh Iowa grown food, and we provide that for them. And so we have a lot of people that use that voucher program, and we're pleased to be able to do that. It's also a great, just kind of a push off for people who want to start their own businesses. We have a lot of folks that are new to the farmers market. They're new bakers, or they're trying to start a home-based business. We provide that way to gather customers and people who are interested in those kinds of products. So the farmers market continues to thrive. It was a great season, and we love having Healthy Harvest there because, speaking only for myself, I do not have time to do recipe demos because we have such a great crowd at our table. So we really appreciate them using our produce, using other people's produce to show what can be done, because even though we have a lot of customers, cultivating those new customers and new eaters, and how do you use this local food is really important, and they help us do that, so we're thankful for them.
Yeah, so I guess our request is a slightly higher than last year, just to bring it in line with what I've been asking with the other county boards around the 9 counties. Last year, you were kinda, I guess, first year that you funded us, and so this year I just brought it in line with the asks across the other counties, so it's a 20 cents per capita, which is slightly up from last year. But I think that we've demonstrated that we made good use of the funds that you did provide, and we're hoping that you would consider that this year, so.
Any questions about any of the work that's being done, or, I know some of you are very familiar with farmers market, and some of you are partially familiar with it, and we even saw Howard there once looking for tomatoes, which is great, yeah, so.
We didn't find any, but.
You didn't find any, you know, yeah, this is a tough year for tomatoes, but, you know, we do serve a broad audience, and even if you don't come every week, we are there most of the time with things you need. Sometimes there's a little short, but yeah, any questions for us?
$75 a pop and sold out, I think you better have more dinners.
Yeah, right, I know, we hope to increase the size and, yeah, keep moving it around. It was a lot of fun, and I'd love to have one here in Algona, but there's a lot of great places around Kossuth County. One of the things, our market serves the county, and it's great to take things outside of this community and be in other places as well. I think that's really, really important, and we keep trying to do that, so yes, we'll make sure you're invited next time we do one, rest delish.
Yeah.
How easy mark for a meal.
Yeah.
I was just saying, how does a vendor connect with your organization directly, you know, being listed in the food guide and stuff like that?
Well, actually, we're doing the annual recruitment right now for the food guide, so you can just there's a sign up online, or you can contact me and sign up through the website. So it is a kind of a membership-based program, and being listed in the guide is one perk for the farm, but also we're doing a lot of promotion. We have like social media, Farm Fridays, lots of things on the website, access to other events that we have going on and things like that, so it's all on there, so, but feel free to reach out if you have questions.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's fun to be part of things this year, thanks for what you do,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have NICOG next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Travis Koenig. I've been with NICOG for about 2 years. My direct supervisor, the director for the NICOG Housing Trust Fund, she could not be here today. She is under the weather. Here I've got a page kind of summary about us as an organization, and then the second page is some pictures from projects that we completed this year. And then I have extra copies if anyone else would like them.
You might wanna put one on his desk, he's
I
just
can do
gone.
that. So yeah, we're a not-for-profit, we're under NICOG's umbrella, and we've been a program since 2012, and since then, we have had an impact of $9.29 million invested in the housing stock in our 8-county region. Last year, or rather this past year, we spent $55,100 in Kossuth County. We have one open project still on eligible home repairs, and for every dollar that Kossuth County invested, the Housing Trust Fund program has provided $18.37 in eligible home repairs. The program's effort focuses primarily on home repairs for those that are elderly, disabled, or veterans. We have 2 primary programs. We have our general home repair program, which process of that is we have a waiting list for that, so people will either call us and we'll get them, ask for some information, get them put down on our waiting list, or they'll fill out a waiting list form. And that can include anything from roofs, windows, siding, doors, handicapped accessibility, furnaces, water heaters, electrical. even some septic tanks and different stuff as well too. The other program we have is our emergency home repair program, and that is on a first come, first served basis as long as the people meet the income eligibility. And that is for non-functioning water heaters, furnaces in the winter, and air conditioning as in central air in the summer. The assistance format is generally a 5-year forgivable loan that must be repaid if the homeowner sells their home within 5 years. And that is dependent on the funding source, as we do get a couple of different grants, including with Federal Home Loan Bank. To be eligible, the household must have incomes below certain levels based upon the number of people living in the home. For example, to be eligible, a one-person household must have an income below $39,180 per year. However, most recipients have household incomes between $17,000 and $28,000, given that the majority of people we assist are either just on Social Security or they're retired, or either on disability or Social Security. We are requesting Nyack Housing Trust Fund a $3,000 investment in the program from Kossuth County for fiscal year 2026-27, which would represent about 2% of required local matching funds. The amount of match we are required to provide to receive our full allocation has increased 135% since 2022, and really that local match we need is proportionate to the total amount we receive from the state. So thankfully that amount is growing, but with that our local match requirement is also growing. On that second page there, you'll see we had that top set of pictures. We did the siding and roof there for that house. I would say we've had a ton of calls about roofs lately, just between the storms and also the insurance companies buckling down. Get a lot of calls for that. Second picture there shows a tub that we converted into a walk-in shower, something we do for a lot of elderly people so that they can access their bathrooms easier. We've got a nice light fixture below that was replaced, and then another shower to, or tub to walk-in shower conversion there. Other things I'd say is we're always looking for more contractors, especially out here in the rural areas, because that's another benefit of this program is not only is it providing home repairs for the owner-occupied homes, but it's also investing in the community by giving some business to local contractors. And last thing I'd say is I just talked with some of the city clerks in our area too, but you know, we want you guys know the people in your communities better than anyone else, and you know sometimes if people are struggling, or likewise people at the library, you have people come in there all the time. We want you guys to be an advocate for this program and help advertise it, where if someone needs a critical home repair, or if it's like the winter right now and the furnace goes out, we want them to be able to contact us and use us as a resource. And I've got Heidi's information on the bottom there. Phone numbers are the same, and then I also have my card if anyone would like that too. Alright, any questions?
What community was this particular home in?
I
Just out of
know,
curiosity. That's okay if you don't know.
yeah, these are, I know the light one and the bathroom was Kossuth, or excuse me, Algona. I'm not sure on the
Well, these
other-
are all different,
Yeah,
different homes. Oh, okay.
so yeah, I know the light, I believe we did the light fixture and one of the showers in a home in Algona, and then I think that siding one was Burt. I know we've had a good amount of projects in Burt. We also, we oftentimes see it where a lot of it is spread via word of mouth, where if someone has gotten assistance, or maybe there's a city clerk in this town and they have people coming in to pay their bills or stuff, they can kind of communicate and help spread the word of the program.
Very good. And you're requesting $3,000?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Kossuth County Fair Board Ag Association, Scott, good morning.
Good morning.
What have you got for us today?
Oh, you guys know most of it. We're still working on the grandstand. We did decide to go to 2,000, which,
Okay.
put us up to 2.9 for our project now. I guess what I'm asking for our 20 or 25, what we normally get, is, to put that towards the bathrooms down at the grandstands. That would help offset that cost just a little bit. We've got a guesstimate on that, and that's what they're talking, between 20 and 25, so.
Okay.
And
We
still
typically do 25 for construction and 5 for
5 for the free gate.
the free
Yeah.
gate admission. Okay.
Stick with the same old, and other than that, fair numbers are up and everything's looking good, we just need to get our
What
projects going.
What was the fair numbers this year, just out of curiosity, or do you not know that?
I don't have them.
Okay, that's
Say it. I know it keeps getting bigger every year.
What's the cost of the bathroom, do you remember? What it was going to be?
They thought between 20 and 25, depending on how far we went to it.
Oh, you're just revamping it?
Just revamping.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, the structure itself is good,
Okay,
just gonna go in and kinda redo it all.
okay.
Yeah.
That's very
All
good.
I got for you.
Okay,
Any questions for me?
I don't think so.
Great.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Should we
Kossuth?
at least acknowledge RSVP?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. So we had, RSVP was not able to be here in person, they're requesting $2,000.
And you should have a copy of that letter that they submitted.
Yep, Deb Jordan sent us a letter here in our, that Tammy laid on your desk. Okay, Kossuth County Library Association, good morning,
That's us.
everybody. That is you.
I'm gonna give Tammy this very interesting folder full of information if you guys get bored later.
Thank you.
That's, one of our requirements is the annual survey, so that is stats for our libraries for the year. If ours isn't in there, mine's in my car. I'll bring it or send it, we were supposed to bring it, but. We're back. One of the things we wanted to focus on this year is, again, our library camp that we've done 4 years now. We've done it 4 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Woo, every June. This year we had 140 kids from all over Kossuth County. We're lucky that the school has always provided busing for us for free. The camp is mostly funded by a grant, and the rest comes from our ACLA fund. Is that correct? Yes. So it's a great day, it's a busy day, but we've already got this year, or 2026 is planned. So we are continuing to do that. It's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of work. I think Amber handed you a brochure with pictures from the camp. And we do that out at the Nature Center. It's a great day. The other part is, obviously libraries are books, and everybody knows that. In that very interesting folder of statistics from everybody, which mine is in my car, we can't really measure success at our libraries in revenue, but we do measure it in services. How many people we see. There are, at last count, 391 people in Wesley, is that right? 391, feels right. And my door count last year was close to 4,000 people. So, not everybody uses the library, but a lot of people do. And it means a lot to them. Wesley is full of older people. It started during COVID, I believe, curbside delivery, of course. How many people continued curbside delivery? I also do home delivery in Wesley. Anybody else do home delivery? Mm-hmm. My people in Wesley aren't getting any younger, so he tells me what he wants, I leave him outside his garage door, and he returns the ones that I brought last time, leaves them outside his garage door, and it works. How many of you are bus stops for your kids? Mm-hmm. And what else do we do? Who has a study room? Algona does. Algona's fancy. How many of you are one-person libraries? Like, you might have an assistant or a sub, but you're running the show, yep. So, I encourage you to visit your library, go and ask questions, see what's going on. Things go digital, and we all know that things change and ebb and flow, and families move out and new people move in and have babies, and so it's a constant figuring out what works best for our towns. I can't do the same thing Algona does, and what Laverne does wouldn't work in West Bend. So it's our job as directors to know what our communities need to make it work for them. The technology grant that you guys have given us is invaluable, I would say. Nothing is getting cheaper, obviously, but a lot of us, computers, everybody needs a computer, internet, online books, we use it for online books, Libby, Bridges. So even if you can't physically come into the library, you could, if you have a phone, you still have a book, and it's free.
Homework help, grant fees.
Yep, homework help, languages, you can learn languages. Transparent languages, that's it. So I guess, does anybody else wanna add anything? I don't have to be the only one that talks. Nope, I'm doing fine, that's great. So this year we are asking for a 3% increase, I don't think it's on our little brochure, a 3% increase and a $6,000 technology grant, to keep moving. And I know that Wesley couldn't, I don't wanna speak for them, but I'm gonna speak for them. We couldn't do it without the county funding, and we learned that. Like, we saw that firsthand, how important it is, for our county and city funding together, so that's what we've got for you. Any questions?
Help me out, total, you said 3%, what's that make it?
Ooh, who mathed that?
Oh,
200 something.
last year it was,
201, 245.
That was last year's.
Yeah, that was the divided payment, so if we do 3%.
Yeah, and then we divide that per capita, obviously, so.
You're going up 3% from there.
It's an additional $6,037.35, so 207, 282.35 for the divided payment. And does your tech grant the same? Was it 6,000 last year?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the same.
For a total of 213.
No, it's 6,000 per library.
Yeah.
So 72,000 for the tech grant, and then
207, 282,
is that what I
I
said?
think that's what you said,
207, 282, 35 cents.
and 35 cents.
That 35 cents is really important.
Make sure you split that up per capita.
Yeah, I will make sure that 35 cents is yours.
35 plus the 72. 279, 282, 35
270,
total.
we say it again.
279, 282, 35.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Thanks for what you do.
Thank you, guys.
Alright, thanks for coming in.
Have a good day.
You too.
Could I ask a question? Just-
Yeah, go ahead and.
So I was just curious, about, as far as funding, as far as cities and counties are concerned, I haven't ever gotten a clear answer about, how much our city is required to provide for us. According to the code, it says 6 3/4 cents per thousand capita in the township. Where do I find that information to match that up with a number?
Per thousand valuation?
From the city or from?
Yeah,
You're asking from the
yes,
city.
yeah,
You could get the city valuation from Tammy.
from Tammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Should be able to line that up, yeah.
And then take it, yeah, do the math or whatever.
Okay, thank you.
I have two things.
Okay.
First of all, our main point that I think Laney was trying to make too, is that your libraries are being used and they're being used heavily. And the second thing I wanted to bring up, do any of you have questions about, in particular, the Algona Library and the renovation? Because a lot of community members are asking about it, and I just wanted to bring you up to date on that, some brickwork was done, and due to the quality of the work, we're not accepting that, which has delayed everything until that brickwork is done correctly. The other portions of the building cannot be done. And I just came from an early morning outside, very cold meeting this morning that we continue to have with the architect and with the owner of the construction company. And so we're still progressing. If anybody's asking about it, because you do give us very generous funding and we very much appreciate it. So thank you. Wanted to fill you in on that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Kossuth County Economic Development Corporation. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. You said I was gonna see it till March. Right, yeah. Okay, so I'm Aaron McCartan. I'm the Economic Development Board President. I'm also the General Manager of Convert Communications and Ringtail, which has service in Sway City. So kind of all about the county. Economic Development would like to take this opportunity to thank the Board of Supervisors for past support. We also want to thank you for the opportunity today to present before you. Todd is passing out some documents which include our current budget, and the budget we're presenting you today has that same requested amount as we've had in the past of $125,000 for economic development. Just some highlights of the marketing workforce initiatives. Of course, a big thing is we're trying to promote jobs, and this entity is very good at posting job opportunities, reaching out one-on-one with the businesses throughout the cities and within our county. They've had a 100% success rate reaching out, emailing, and interacting with the businesses directly in the job placement, which is just unbelievable. Lots of marketing initiatives that retain and grow businesses in our area. Of course, to get those networking opportunities, Todd, our new director, has been very good at reaching out one-on-one with these business managers, owners, gaining opportunities with them. Surveys go out annually which look at retention and expansion opportunities. They identify locations, expansions, growth, modernization initiatives. So we kind of keep a finger on the pulse of what this county has as far as employment needs. Within this packet, you will also find an economic impact analysis. This looks at the insights as to how effective these initiatives have been. So EDC does watch to see what the trends within the county are and how they've been able to boost and assist those. We also included a copy of the newsletter, and that highlights the expansions, the new startups, community projects, and these are distributed not just locally and regionally, but also with state partners to try and better advertise what Kossuth County has to offer. Of course, we always try to advertise community events. We try and promote with community flyers, reaching out on the website, social media, to highlight what the companies offer throughout our region. And then finally, of course, we mentioned the website. It doesn't just post available jobs or provide a portal for resumes, but it also presents opportunities on land, buildings, participant communities, information, and community attractions, again, to try and draw more people back to this area. So with that, I'm going to hand this over to Mr. Sean Noonan, my predecessor. Sean.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Sean Noonan. I'm the past president of Kossuth County Economic Development, and then my side job is president and CEO of Farmer State Bank in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend. I'm here to talk about lending. So, Kossuth County Revolving Loan Fund. It's been in existence since 2004. Since that time, we've made 22 loans in the amount of $770,400. Out of that, we've created and or retained approximately 115 jobs within our county. So we have very generous terms on these loans. We max it out at $50,000, up to
period of 10 years on a payback schedule, and just my involvement with it has been very successful. We've been very, very low charge-offs, if hardly at all. So it's been a wonderful program for us. The other thing I'd like to talk about too is the partnership that we've developed with Iowa Lakes, Corn Belt Cooperatives. KCDC's been the catalyst with private banking. I've had the good fortune of being involved in 3 of these projects, where we work as a partnership to start businesses in Kossuth County. 3 off the top of my head are J&J Custom Needs in Whittemore, Park and Bark in Algona, and recently the Mansion. So KCDC was the catalyst to bring those people together and get those projects off the ground to add to our enrollment, to add to our employment. The other thing I'd like to talk about is KCDC has been a great resource for business development, both private and public. We engage in such things as city clerk meetings, human resource networking, the intern program. To date, we've had 257 interns that have become permanent employees within our county. Last leader development series, we have leadership training for employees of local businesses and public businesses or public entities. So it's been a great program. We very much appreciate your past support, appreciate your time today, and hopefully you can help us out again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have anything to say, because Sean said it. I'm Bob Jennings, I'm with Algona Municipal Utilities, but I'm on the board as an ex officio with Iowa Lakes Community College, a trustee for Iowa Lakes Community College, finishing up my 16th year. I'm here because I serve on the career intern committee, and I've been on that committee pretty much as long as I've been at AMU, which is close to 23 years. Internships have changed over the years. When I interned 40 years ago, it'll be 40 years next month, when I walked into WQAD-TV in Moline, Illinois, fresh green student out of Western Illinois, and Jim King, the noon anchor, handed me a tape and said, record the shuttle going up. I said, okay, put it in the editing machine, shuttle goes up, it blows up. I go, Kinger, that was his nickname. The shuttle just blew up. I said, yeah, right. He came in, I'm not gonna say the expletives, he said, but a lot of expletives were behind me as he's seeing the shuttle blow up. And I was no longer an intern at that point. They threw me out with a photog, and I did stories from that point on, and that was my internship. 40 years later, it's a lot different. Yes, the interns are still gaining valuable working experience, but they're wanting to learn more than just on-the-job training. Many interns are looking for something extra that benefit them as well as move into the workforce. Many have already done several internships, even with the Kossuth County intern program. They provide a unique experience, and they build on the resume. And the Kossuth County and Palo Alto County intern program helps provide that meaningful experience they've been looking for. Our career interns can be working on networking skills that are critical in today's business environment. Our interns also have the opportunity to develop soft skills needed for future employment that may not be provided with formal education, including managing your personal finance, resume writing, mock interviews, and more importantly, in today's world, is social media presence on what to do and not to do when you're applying for a job. And even if you get an opportunity to interview for that job, or even retaining that job, what you do on social media is very important on what you do for your work. And a lot of people forget that. So we have some training with that. So in November, the Career Intern Program Committee began planning the upcoming year. We're going to have a breakfast this year on June 9th. We've moved it back a little bit because a lot of interns weren't in place at their employer's place of work. So that's going to be on June 9th. We'll have skill building sessions that will follow in June and early July. It'll include Brenda Clark Hamilton with Secrets of Success, social media presence, which I've already mentioned, the emotional intelligence and money management. And these sessions will be hosted in Algona and Emmitsburg, and they'll be either early in the morning or over lunch. The program is an important cog of our economic development here in Kossuth County. It not only provides interns with the opportunity to gain experience in their chosen field, and employers the opportunity to provide that experience and gain a well-qualified future employee. But it also offers Kossuth and Palo Alto counties a chance to show what makes our area special. You know, rural Iowa still needs people. You walk around, you drive around, in rural Iowa especially, you still see we're hiring. We can say we've gained some population in Iowa, but rural Iowa is not exactly that space. A lot of the population gain is in metro areas like Des Moines or the Quad Cities or the Iowa City area. So we need people. It's true, some occupations can't be in rural Iowa, but many still do, and we need to show our interns what makes Kossuth and Palo Alto County special. We need to know that our area is a beautiful place to raise a family. We have great schools, we have great communities, and great people who have already settled here. And we need to tell our story to the interns, what makes living in West Bend, or in Sway City, Grettinger, Whittemore, Emmitsburg, I'll go in our other area communities, what's so special that they should consider coming back here to live. So with the loss of population also comes the loss of tax base, and services could be cut. You've talked about that here. I've read the newspaper, I've heard the radio stations stories. We've known since that in the early 1980s, but we also lose another part of our area, and a big piece of the puzzle, and that's called leadership. I commend especially the 3 young people that have been on our Board of Supervisors these past 3.5 years, and I commend you for stepping forward, getting out of your comfort zone and serving. But we need to think about, what are we going to do in the future? Over the last 5 years, many potential leaders have moved out of our area, and so we need to tell our interns that you can have a rewarding, satisfying career here in Kossuth and Palo Alto counties. Our career intern program is a crucial tool to retain and bring future employees to our area, and also provides the opportunity to be mentors for these interns. So I suggest, and I offer that to you, and I try to be that. I sit on the KCEDC Board of Directors as an ex officio. I represent Iowa Lakes Community College as a trustee. And I also want to mention, as a trustee, following graduation, between 80 and 86% of the graduates of community colleges in Iowa stay right here in Iowa. And I'd like to see them stay here in Kossuth County from Iowa Lakes. If you ask people around whether they're an Iowa Lakes grad or I'm an SCC grad, I grew up near Burlington, so I can raise my hand with a community college. There are a lot of community college students and graduates in Iowa. We need to keep them here. And that career intern program will help keep students here and help them flourish in Kossuth and Palo Alto counties. And I ask that you support not only the career intern program, but also the KCEDC funding requests that will help us continue that work. Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.
You did notice you're officially not young anymore.
I've known each other a long time.
You guys can see I have a great board. This is a great sampling of, we're very blessed with a great board. And we really do appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you guys again this year. I feel like this has been a great organization. It was built before I got here, and it's been really fun to kind of carry on a lot of what they've done and make a few changes, a few alterations. And one of the things that I said I was going to do last year was I was going to be meeting with businesses face to face. And just a little update so far as of yesterday. I visited with 16 different businesses here in Kossuth County, 19 different businesses in Palo Alto, so that's 35 for those who are keeping track of math. The most I ever did before, when I was at the county level, was 14. So we've hit 35 so far. I'd really like to get over 40 before the end of the year. We're really hitting the ag businesses now. Oddly, this is a better time to talk to the ag businesses than it was from February until last week when the snow came. So we have several of them that have just said, hey, wait till December, January. What I'm learning from those is not only just about what those businesses do and what's important to them, what their challenges are, but a couple of things that we've learned is through a couple of the questions, challenges that are consistent among the businesses are a lack of housing and lack of childcare. And so one of those things, so we're working on both of those, some initiatives in the housing and childcare, but one of them is the childcare coalition that you guys have maybe heard a little bit about. One of the people that presented earlier, Joanne Bodie, and Avery Peterson and I, and formerly earlier Barb Smith was a part of our group too. We started this coalition to try to figure out some ways that we can maybe help with creating more childcare seats. We'll just put it that way, opportunities. And so we are forging ahead on that, and that is a county effort. That is not an Algona effort. That's a county-wide effort where we visited with each of the 6 different child care centers, and we are expanding that out into in-home healthcare as well. Not healthcare, sorry. In-home child care as well, because if we can find opportunities to help people put 3 more kids into a home healthcare situation than what they had before, if there's a way to do that, every 3 adds up. And so just in the business visit yesterday, again, childcare was the number one barrier to them hiring more new people. So isn't that an interesting sign of the times? So anyway, so we're working on that. More stories on that to come, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Do you guys have questions? Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, we did not include the official 6-month newsletter in this packet. So I'm sorry, Aaron, that was in the script, but it is not in your packet because just as I left the office this morning, we're really close to solidifying our newsletter that comes out here in December. And you're gonna be getting those here later in the month. And so we didn't give you last June's because you've already received those. I think we already dropped those off. So anyway, so we didn't give you a second copy of the same one. So anyway, but do you have questions of what we're up to, what we're doing, what we need, any of those things?
No, I you know, like you've already touched on some of the things you're working on, and I think maybe when you and I were talking last week, even I look at my own community, it's just so obvious that if I wanted somebody to move to my community, or whoever wanted to move to Laverne, there's not a house for sale. If somebody wanted to, or people that are currently working in town would like to live in town, but because they're driving their kids to daycare or the child care thing, you know, or they live in town and they work in town and they gotta drive to Humboldt or Algona or wherever twice a day in order to live in my community. And that just isn't sustainable for a family long term. So then you're forced with either, well, just don't go work or move to the next community over where you can provide that service. So that's a definite challenge for all of our communities, yeah. And however, I don't know, however we can help and address some of that and have conversations, yeah, our area needs it.
And I appreciate you mentioning that. And I should say, along with that, we are still actively working with the governor, even as of last week, to maybe bring in some state dollars that we thought were gonna be there when we started this effort, and then the state dollars weren't there anymore. And as I explained to the governor, and a few people were in the room there last week, that we went to the Teats Foundation. They pledged, which is awesome, they pledged a $50,000 match for the first $50,000 that we raised. The original intent of that was to match state funds, and then the state funds were pulled away. And so we are starting to, we're right at the cusp of contacting businesses, which we were gonna do anyway, because the businesses are telling me that it's a problem. So we thought, well, let's figure out a way to deliver back to the businesses and ask those larger employers if they would contribute and help get that matching funds. And maybe with some luck, the state will find a way to circle back around and have some funding that can also match our efforts. Because that way, we've seen this in other counties that have had success with it, so we were trying to pattern after some of those counties as close as Hamilton County and Webster City, where they've done this for over 3 years now, and they've increased their child care numbers, we'll say seats in the child care by over 100. So they have 100 more kids that are in child care now than what was available before they started. So that's our, I don't know if I wanna say that's our goal, but we're trying to pattern after some of the things that we're seeing in other counties. So, any other questions?
Very good, thanks for being with
Well,
us.
thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and thank you for presenting.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Kossuth County Care Team. Oh, Ally is here. I didn't see you back in the corner. Okay. Good morning.
Morning. So I'm just gonna. These are color coded to show the years of growth and the new business cards. I don't have an entourage with me, so it's just me. Please be nice. So I don't know, it was kind of busy yesterday. I don't know if any of you boys made it to Tacos for Tots at the Methodist Church. It's like our annual fundraiser, and we were busy the entire time. I think we were the busiest we had ever been. And I thought we weren't gonna be busy because of the weather, but all the money that we get from Tacos for Tots, it's a free will donation, goes right back into the community at holiday time. So we work with the chamber, and we get Algona bucks, and then we give them out to families. So the money we do raise goes right back into the community through the Algona bucks. So it all stays here. As you can see on the charts, we have grown exponentially since I've taken over in 2021 now, so we're going on 5 years. So we're seeing a lot of diverse population. So everything in the store is all bilingual. So we are a welcoming, open community asset for everybody. This year alone, we're seeing a lot of community members that are from this area, originally, I should say, but you wouldn't expect that person to come to us for help. So we're kind of breaching it's a place for kind of the destitute poor people where, hey, I just need a little bit of help, what can you do for me? So it's kind of an eye-opener when you see people that you normally wouldn't see need help come in and need help. During the SNAP shutdown, we had our own grab-and-go kind of food shelf in our store, so families could come grab a couple items. We had community members come and drop off items and put them there, because I heard that the little mobile food boxes that they have on the street corners were all full, so I was like, that's really cool. This past couple years, we've provided winter clothing to all the area schools, so they will call. They need snow pants, they need coats, hats, gloves, whatever. We are able to furnish it for any school within Kossuth County, even West Bend. You know, kids in Kossuth, I know there's no school there, but a little bit outside of Kossuth County, we do provide resources as well. We work with DHS, so if we have a family outside of Kossuth County, so if they're in Emmitsburg, Eagle Grove, DHS will contact us. They have a family in need, and we are their first point of contact, even outside of the community. And we have provided furniture, household items, diapers, formula for free to families in need. We are a resource for energy assistance, housing assistance, food and health care. So our website is updated with tabs that are easy to find. So if you're looking for food resources, we have all the area food resources and food pantries throughout the area, and their hours and phone numbers if they have a phone number. How to sign up for SNAP and Medicaid and Medicare if that need be. I'm also available in the office if people come in, whether they speak English or not. I am available to help them sign up for those programs as well. This past year with the budget cuts at the state level, we did lose funding for the Loving Hands Nursery, which we oversee. It's a free kind of part-time childcare, 3 days a week. It's grown exponentially. I wish Ashley was here to tell you about the numbers for that. It's a free service for mothers. We have a lot of moms that just don't get that break during the day, and they're with the kid 24 hours a day, so it's just nice. She can get a couple hours to herself to just have that break. So we are going to be seeking a little extra money this year because we do have to help fund that program for their operating costs and staff costs. I'm hoping that, we have a lot of families that don't have pickup trucks or ways to get furniture, and we do get a lot of furniture. We're full right now of furniture, which is great. So hopefully within the next year, I can have my pickup truck, hopefully the courts, we had a titling issue, but I'm hoping that my truck will be up in operation, we can start delivering furniture to families, that are in need. We're gonna start here just kind of locally in Algona to see how it goes, but then we'll probably expand outside of the county, cause we do have to, there is a lot of people that just are having struggles getting, hey, I really need a bed, but I have no way to get it, and you know, you may have a friend that can help out once or twice, but it seems to be kind of a continual issue. And then I always get asked what our needs are, so we are always in need of the full-size bath towels, child-size bedding, so twin, full-size sheets, comforters, and we really take anything as donations. We prefer no china hutches or ironing boards or those big old entertainment centers. But if it's like general household items or small appliances, we always take those as donations. So this year, bear with me, we are seeking $16,000. Since we are having to fund Loving Hands Nursery, since we lost all the funding for that, we are seeking a little bit of extra on that one. And I really appreciate you giving me this time to come in here. I hope, it sounds better if I have people with me, because then I sound more, you know, I have a little more oomph. But I really do appreciate your time. Does anybody have any questions?
Take the easy way out and say, what was it last year?
15.
15.
Oh, was it 15? Okay.
It was 15.
Yeah. Yep, I don't think so. I got a really cheap van, I could tell you, that pulls a trailer.
You know, please don't tell my son.
Okay.
He's always wanting like project cars.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yep.
guys.
Thank you.
You too.
Good morning.
Good morning, Avery.
How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for your patience.
Yes, I have a few handouts for you. I'm sure you guys are full of them already, but this one is just talking about the tourism or visitor spending in Kossuth County. I think it's really valuable because we request money for tourism, the chamber does, and we have a little bit of a change of emphasis since I started the chamber about a year ago. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So today, just gonna cut right to it for you guys. We are requesting $1,000. In years past, it's been $800. $500 of that goes to the Western Iowa Tourism. And that is one great way that we can get out more about Kossuth County. That magazine goes out to, I think it's a couple 100,000 people. It's viewable online, and then they also send it out to businesses. So it's something that sits in your dentist office. It goes into your tourism buildings when you're stopping at a gas station. Western Iowa Tourism is always out there doing advertising, so it's a great way for Kossuth County to get our word out there. And then the other $500 is for tourism with the chamber. We have seen a cut with some city budgeting, so from dollars we were receiving, so I am requesting an extra $200 this year. Because we are starting a tourism committee, which we're really excited about. We are bringing in the museums. We added a new museum this past year. If you guys haven't checked out the Hall of Fame Racing Museum, it's amazing. I recommend going and checking that museum out. But we also have 3 other amazing museums here in Algona. So we want to have an emphasis on getting people to those museums, coming into Kossuth County, spending your dollars in our county. So those pamphlets that are the sheets I showed you just kind of shows our spending between transportation, lodging, all of those areas, and then recreation. So the green is obviously Kossuth County, and then the yellows is the 5 most similar counties to Kossuth County. We are at the second highest. I don't know what Alamaki County is doing. I have been searching for weeks, to be honest, on what they're doing that we're not doing, and it looks like they have a lot of great like cabin recreation, and that's not right now what we're doing. But otherwise for tourism initiatives, we are really looking to add more, bringing more people in. We do so many great events. Last night we had live greeting card windows. I saw some of you guys out there, and I do appreciate you guys coming and checking that out. We had over 30 businesses get involved, so it's a great way to get the community and other people around the area onto State Street, spending their dollars here in Kossuth County. Otherwise, chamber-wise, some big changes. We are changing our membership due structure. We have been a fair share model, and we're gonna be a tiered membership. So any business that's looking to be a member can now look at our membership criteria and say, we wanna be at the base level or we wanna be at your visionary level. So it's a really big change that we're really looking forward to in 2026. Let's see, I'm trying to, childcare, Todd kind of covered on that. If you guys are interested in having a presentation done, let us know. Childcare is huge, and to bring in more economic development, we have to have housing, we have to have childcare, and right now you can't do those two things. I myself drive 15 minutes out of the way to drop my kid off at childcare. In between Bancroft and Lakota, I'm outside of Ledyard. So I travel into town and looking at what costs are and then what our childcare employees are making. Our childcare employees here in Kossuth County are the lowest paid employees in the county. Even including your Casey's or McDonald's workers, they're still the bottom tier of base pay. So that is a big initiative that we have all been partnering the city, Kossuth Economic, and then myself have been working on together. So if you guys have any questions about tourism in the county, we have about 20 different events. We have Santa coming this Saturday and then December 14th if you're looking for another Santa visit. So it's a fun initiative that brings people to town to spend those dollars here locally. Any other questions? Or any questions in general? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Easy crowd today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Crisis Intervention Service. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you guys?
Good.
I drove here, this morning it's very beautiful out, even though it's wintry, I love the frost and all of that. I'm like King, I'm the domestic abuse program supervisor. I've been with Crisis Intervention for, what year is it, 24 years? I started as a shelter advocate, and then I've just done a variety of positions over the years, and I'm the supervisor now. I feel like, just from a personal standpoint, the services that we provide are needed and very helpful. We're constantly getting that feedback. We have been in North Iowa since 1977. Started out all volunteer, and have worked our way up to where we are now. There's been changes over the years as far as what the state does for like regions and funding and who covers what. But we've always had, whether it was our agency or another, you guys have always had that office here in town. And we will continue to have that local office here in town. What we do is we provide a lot of services to people that have been impacted by violence or trauma, crime, so domestic abuse, sexual assault, survivors of homicide victims, other violent crimes, so like assault, robbery, burglary, those types of things. Our services are free and confidential, so it's a safe place for people to come that have had like some really, personal things happen to them that maybe they don't feel comfortable sharing with others. It's not always, it takes a lot of load off your other local agencies, so like law enforcement, county attorney's office, those types of places. They have a job, they have a thing to do, they have their lane, and they're kind of stuck with the burden of all the emotional stuff and all the extra things that are going on in people's lives if they don't have that extra person to step in and take care of those things for them. The police, they need to catch the bad guys, the county attorney, they prosecute the cases, DHS, they keep the kids safe, and we do everything else for a person that's being impacted by those things. So crisis counseling, advocacy at court hearings, DHS appointments, 24-hour hotline, so we can call our number anytime throughout the year and you'll get to talk to an advocate, about your situation. We do still have an, client assistance funds, so we can help with things like broken locks, you know, it's that somebody's fled without their paperwork, so we can help them get an ID and a birth certificate and all of those things so they can get help from other places. And then even startup costs to get into a new place, and things like that. I will say that our overall, agency, which we cover, see if I can do it, I haven't done it for a while. Sarasota, Worth, Floyd, Mitchell, Franklin, Butler, Hardin, Grundy, Webster, Humboldt, Hamilton, Wright, Kossuth, Hancock, and Winnebago. So our entire agency, we provided direct service support to 1,244 individuals. We answered 5,348 crisis calls, and those would be crisis calls during office hours. The after hours ones that are rolled to the Iowa Victim Call Center, like those aren't included in this. We supported 557 victims navigating the criminal and civil legal systems. Medical advocacy, we assisted 93 victims during medical procedures and hospital visits. Most of those are gonna be in the ER, for people that have some severe injuries. And we provided vital support to 229 households for housing and other financial, assistance. Our, annual budget is, let me see if I can, no, still don't know how to say these many. There's $1,570,011. 90% of the funding is derived from competitive federal and state grants. And then the remaining part is from donations, private foundations, United Way, and local government. All funds from a local government stay in that area, so even though we cover 15 counties, all the dollars that we get from like a town or a county stay in that area. For example, contributions from the Kossuth County Board of Supervisors would stay here. The generous in-kind donations of food, clothing, household goods and supplies and whatnot, they enhance our services for donations. Specifically Kossuth County, we had 86 households that we served in our 2024-2025 year, so we run September or April through September for our numbers. So we provided over $6,000 in housing and financial assistance to 12 families. We did prevention and education programs. We do those things in the schools, to community groups, like anyone who wants us to come talk about things, we'll come talk about them. I've come over and done things, some speeches at churches and things like that. So just, we try and get the knowledge of our services and just these things out to everybody. We facilitated 9 programs to 149 individuals at a value of a little over $4,000. So the total cost of services for Kossuth County in this year was $57,430 and some cents. You guys are gonna get this too, so it's just what's most important to let you know. We are respectively requesting $10,000 from the Kossuth County Board of Supervisors for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. Your funds support safe housing and self-sufficiency initiatives, crisis services and counseling, community education and prevention programs. Your support makes a difference. Local funding is critical for maintaining these services, and meeting federal and state grants that require a match. So a lot of those, if you're, giving money that goes directly into your county, it's also providing, assistance from all of those match grants as well. I have Jordan here with me. She is the sexual assault advocate for, Kossuth, Humboldt, Winnebago, and Hamilton, Hancock, sorry, counties. And she does a lot within the schools. They've done some presentations this year.
At Algonah Middle School, we've done a few. I brought back SART. When I first started, it kind of wasn't a thing. And so it's like the local agencies, like law enforcement, the county attorneys. We have some nurses who come and join it, and it just kind of keeps us updated on how to keep policies and trauma-informed care all together.
That's the sexual assault response team. So they do case reviews, talk about like their procedures and whatnot to try and make it so when somebody does come report something, everybody is on the same page and gives an experience to victims that they deserve. We also have a support group in Algonah for Kossuth County that meet, is it weekly or every other week?
Every Friday.
Every Friday. They do crafts and like
Meditation.
meditation, group counseling, peer support, things like that are really helpful. There was one more thing, what was it? I forgot to print out her paper, and so we were both trying to remember. She had 4 things.
Community groups.
Oh yeah, the community groups, and we're involved in all the community groups that we can, that are relevant to what we do. So we keep our faces out there, and we also keep aware of what other resources are available, so we can work together with everyone else to try and provide all the services and help that a victim may need. So that's the bulk of what we do, and then why we need some help. So does anybody have any questions?
Do you know what was your requested amount last year?
I think it was 10,000.
Was it 10? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I think we're requesting the same amount. I do have like this page here, I'll give you guys each, one, it's our letter that has all that information in it, yep, that I stated, and it has the amount for our request, and then just some details about our services and how, it's helpful for the community. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, not something that everybody wants to think about or have happen in their community, but things that do. They are unfortunately everywhere, and we do our best to prevent by educating the community and younger people, and then provide services to those impacted so they can try and get away from those cycles. Good?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for your time.
You bet. Have a good day.
You too.
Kossuth County Tales of Hope.
I don't see anybody.
I don't see any here for that.
Does that mean
That's a
we can
new
take a
one.
break?
I think that might mean we can
Take a break.
take a quick break if you want.
Okay.
Otherwise, the Historical Society's here, so, yeah.
Oh, she is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, why don't we let's do the Historical Society quick, then we'll take a break, cause I don't think anybody else is here.
Okay.
So Jan and
Rochelle.
Rochelle, I couldn't spit it out. You wanna come up?
I'm just her support person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I dropped off the packets yesterday that I had, and
Yes, yep, we got it here.
yeah, for my notes. We asked for 7,000 last year, we're asking for 7,000 again this year.
Yep.
If you had any questions, I guess I would answer them, but if not, I was just gonna highlight some of the things that we accomplished this year and continue to work on and get people through, and educate is the big goal, I guess. We are open April through December for visitors, but if you call and make an appointment, we'll take anybody through, really. In March, I went up to the Sway City Museum and learned of a local hero of our own, which was very interesting. And we host groups throughout the year, like Jan hosted the
the Finian group, Spencer Questers come over and went through. And we try to accommodate to them and make it a good experience for them, and we get good donations from them. In May, the Minnesota Hungarian consulates were here and honored the Kossuth statue out here, which was very interesting too as well. They're very proud of him, very, very proud of him.
I would expect so.
Absolutely, and it's helped others learn about him too, because there's only 4 of them statues in the United States, and one of them is right here. That's pretty big for Algona. On Founder's Day, we did a passport punch card, and being the National Park Service is who the National Register's through, they had a junior paleontology booklet that I got from them, and we handed them out because we displayed our our mammoth bones, excuse me, they're not dinosaurs, they're mammoths. And I thought that was fun for the kids too. Just because once you get it complete, there's a place in there that you could send it in and they'd send you a junior paleontology badge. Fun for the kids, I guess. So, we just continue to work on things and research requests. We did Antiques Roadshow. We try to keep the window at Wells Fargo to match what's going, the time of month or what's going on with the season and things. We're getting a new scanner to hopefully, because Gene Kramer and I work on getting things digitized so we can just go to the computer and find it instead of having to look through everything. We continue to work on that, and so we are in the process of purchasing a larger scanner so we can get the whole newspaper hopefully instead of just little pieces at a time. And maintenance on our buildings and our volunteer hours, we had over 1,300 hours, and that's not home hours included, and that's all volunteer to help us all be successful. We had over 200 people sign the guest book. And we try to run on as minimal as we can. I guess that's really all I have. There was a couple churches that have closed, like the Methodist Church up in Tyke closed. We helped them find a place for all their records. I think Gene's working with Congregational, on getting some of their, had wire reels of Chauncey Taylor, was his name. He recorded all his sermons, but they were on these wire reels, and it's been a process trying to find out.
From the Congregational Church.
Yeah. Trying to get them digitized and things like that, so. We continue to work on stuff like that to educate, fulfill our mission of preserving the past, educate the future. There's a lot of important things that have happened throughout the years here in our community, and I think it should be known. I bring up the Roland Fisher thing because I was just so amazed. That came through a research request from a Marine, and the Marines still train what he went through in World War I. He's still honored. And nobody even knows the guy's name here. You know what I'm saying? It's just little things like that that's really important. Because they had the Legion up in Sway City was named after him, and it got tore down, and just, how time moves on, things kind of get brushed off to the side. But it's still important history. And that's what we try to do. We gave you a brochure from last year, but I brought extra if you wanted them. And I encourage you to stop and see it. It's exciting. We've had construction going on, so that's kind of been a challenge, but it is what it is. It hasn't really slowed too much down though, and they've been really good working with us and things, so we can't complain too much at all.
Do you mind if I add a couple of things?
Sure.
You bet.
Because I don't think Rachel has given herself enough credit, because we did a cemetery walk.
Yeah.
Where are the 2 cemeteries again?
Zion Lutheran, but that's at Seeley's property, and when I first started, I always assumed that was Seeley's, and there is not a Seeley in that cemetery. It's a German Lutheran cemetery.
Really?
Yeah, and then Portland Township.
And she did tremendous amount of work. She really did. And, the other thing I'd like to mention is that we did have a college intern come in and help us put stuff on. So they work on the, archival stuff, like papers, all that, pictures and stuff. So and we have all this other stuff on paper, but we never had it on the computer. We got a computer, and so she started, this intern started putting all this stuff on the computer and
Yeah.
stuff, so. And she did it for nothing, but we gave her a little stipend, you know, for
Yeah,
helping us out and
donation.
stuff. And she's in a history major at UNI, so it helped
Yes.
her and stuff, so, yeah, so I was glad to see that. We've never had an intern before, but she really worked out really nice, so.
Yeah, we learned from her.
Yeah, we
Sure.
did learn,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
learned from her a lot.
Yeah, we did, yeah. And she was really pleasant to be around and just nice to,
Yeah, so that's fun. But I stepped down as the head because I'm the director of the food pantry and I didn't think I could do, and Rachel has just stepped up and taken over a lot of the duties and stuff, so.
we struggle a little, but we keep going, you know?
Yeah.
It takes our volunteers and our members and everybody to pitch in to keep it going. And without everybody's help, it just wouldn't be possible. It feels minor kind of compared to some of the other issues, but I still think it's really important. Education.
Very
And I think they're gonna be celebrating the Declaration of Independence. It was 250 years old this year, so kind of
Yep.
trying to incorporate something with that with the schools and things like that, so.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
As
in.
far as upcoming. You bet. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to holler and stop by sometime.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Merry Christmas. to you.
Christmas. Now bathroom break.
No bathroom break. So we just got Tales of Hope Law Library, and was somebody gonna come in for Law Library? Like
He
Steve
never
Coordinator or anybody?
does, but I sent him his letter again, so.
Okay. And then Luke is probably soil and water.
No, I can't remember the lady's name, but,
Oh,
yeah, it's.
Sarah Pearson?
No, somebody else. I can't remember.
Okay.
Soon to be
Yeah.
announced.
Soon to be announced.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
I gotta get out of this room so I can warm up.
Getting chilly?
Yeah.
I assume Doug needed these back, you could run them down to him.
Oh, I assume so. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad to do that.
I shall return.
Alrighty. Thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
I guess I can make a phone call now. You guys done for the day?
Not quite. Sorry, noon probably?
You're fine, just when you're done, will you let me know so I can upload the video?
Yeah.
I will do that.
Perfect, I'll grab it. We still gotta go back to the agenda after we're done with these.
Well, we've only got auditor and board discussion.
Yeah. No drainage repair requests,
Nope.
everything's frozen up.
Good, I kinda needed a break from that.
Just wait till spring when everything starts thawing out and the water starts flowing again. I think Tales of Hope was here last year because I remember they were requesting, maybe they weren't here during that, but I don't remember there was something about the, when they take in the animals to spay and neuter them.
I thought that was during our animal ordinance discussion.
That was during the animal ordinance. Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Yeah, I think that's when they brought that up. I don't think they've ever actually requested any assistance.
For
Yeah.
I returned those to Lisa down there and she looked real hard at the blank spot for Kyle, but they don't need that, do they? They don't need Kyle's signature? He
Oh.
wasn't here.
Oh.
It wasn't either.
He wasn't here, I guess if they need him to sign it, he can do it a different time.
I told her if you
Yeah.
decide you need him, bring him back or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, alright, well, we're all back, I guess.
Do we wanna do county auditor?
Why don't we just do discussion then, and since nobody's here,
Okay,
go ahead.
okay, so next week, December 9th already, you'll all acknowledge the transfers made by the auditor, present years of service awards, one award, have a public hearing for a construction permit for Wayne Gerhart, hog confinement site. And then just the regular stuff at that time. And then at 9 o'clock, we have the tile improvement hearing for DD 20. And that's what I have on the calendar for next week, except for the stuff that we talked about today, that'll be added to next week.
Yeah.
So yesterday, December 1st is when, you have to file with the auditor what your TIF debt certification is and your request for the next fiscal year.
Right.
So we kinda wait till then to, go in and start our TIF reconciliations and, so we did that yesterday. And although I don't remember the number off the top of my head, and of course this isn't final yet, cause we're still working through the valuation process, but, it's estimated to be over $1 million next year, that we will receive from the windmill TIFs.
How much debt do we have left after paying?
So
It was like 1.3.
3, but that's not including the 222,000 we've already received and the possible same amount we'll receive in the spring.
Okay.
So we'll be under $1 million, so we will have to certify debt in order to collect all that million the
Mhm.
following year.
Mhm.
We'll
But-
be collecting some of that though
Yep.
in October,
Correct.
so we won't be able to capitalize on that, will we?
It's a new year.
Yeah,
We,
well,
No, cause the whole million won't come in October.
no, just half of it.
right, but when you certify debt, you're certifying for then the following, cause you're behind.
You need
So
to
like when
that
we
together.
certify debt December 1st next year, we won't actually collect for that until October and then again, October of, gosh, I need like a calendar, fiscal
following
years in
year?
front, yeah, the following.
October 27.
But this would be existing debt though, so.
So it would take care of all of our existing debt.
Correct.
We just won't have any new debt to really capitalize on
Well,
that.
that's okay though,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
I mean, then we know
No, it is what it is, we're past
we
the
might
deadline
have
if
$1
we
million
want
to work with.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, it will take care of everything that we have.
Hallelujah, well, that'll feel good,
That will be nice. So
but,
then just something to think of,
Dave Ramsey be proud.
budgeting for this next
Well,
year.
it is, but
Yeah.
the only way to get money into there is to either take out an internal loan
Hmm.
or,
Or go to the bond
Geo
market.
bond.
Mhm.
and we don't have the money for an internal loan, so to speak.
Not that big, no.
Not for like $1 million, that's for sure. I mean, I haven't actually seen the numbers, but assuming just from last year, we're not gonna have that kind of money to take out an internal loan for.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's something to keep
That's
in the
good.
back of your mind and
Okay.
to know,
So we're not in danger of running out of time. Make sure I understood what was just said. We're not in danger of running out of time, so basically you're saying we're gonna need to go to the bond market in the next, what?
In the next,
if you wanna keep
in the coming
capitalizing,
year, if we wanna capture
Yes,
anything.
yeah.
if you wanna
Let
capitalize
me
on these
be-
funds.
Which coming year?
2026.
26.
So between,
To capitalize for 27.
right,
27, yeah.
between June 30th of this year and July, June 30th of 27, we need to do something.
No, if we wanna collect the money, that's gonna come in October of 27 and March of 28. We have to make sure that the debt is certified and we have that debt prior to December 1st of next year.
26, okay, so we got a year.
Well, this next year,
We have a year, it's December 2nd. We have to do it prior to December 1st.
Right, but I mean, we have to have we have to have the debt prior to that December 1st, so anytime
So we'll be
before
making
then.
decisions
yeah.
during the summer of what we're going to
Yes.
certify for debt
Yes.
you have
for
to-
that December.
350 or 63 days from now, we need to have a decision.
well, but you have to, I mean, you have
already
to,
have the
Before
debt.
you have to go,
I know.
you know, in and certify that, you have to have the hearing, you have to go through
I know.
all of that.
So we'll need a couple months
Yes.
of, we'll need to talk about it and then have a couple months of
Mhm.
the preparation,
Well, and
just
you,
to have it
and you have to
certified.
line it up too, you know, I mean, you have to go to that mark, you know,
Mhm.
out in that market.
We better have it done before April 1st, maybe. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
And that's what we've talked about, hopefully we can discuss that in connection with our budget discussions.
Yeah, because Doug had mentioned before, like around, forgive me if my number's incorrect, but like around $4 million, he was kinda hoping that we would certify his debt for roads
5.
and bridges. Was it 5?
I think it was 5.
I thought it was like 4 million, but
Either way,
whatever, it doesn't
either
matter,
way.
so,
It was a lot either way, yeah.
yeah.
and then Friday, Sherry and I and Kyle had signed up to go to the drainage meeting in Fort Dodge. Tomorrow I'm gonna be going to District 2 Auditors meeting in Charles City. So it's a busy week this week. That's all I have.
And I have to be in Des Moines Thursday afternoon and Friday, so I won't be able to go to the drainage meeting.
And before we do board discussions, Nancy, good morning.
Hello,
Are you the only one that
I'm the only one.
is coming today? Okay, well then do you wanna go ahead and
Yeah, I'm here ready.
do your portion since you're here?
I'm gonna start the back side of the,
Sure.
We've got a lot of guests today.
yeah. Am I the last?
Well, you're last on the list, but probably not the last one today.
Okay.
We'll bump you up.
That's perfect. I remember last year we were running ahead, so I'm like, well, I'll just come early.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We were way
We were,
behind,
we
didn't
were
we?
about an hour behind and
We caught up fast.
yeah.
Probably did. All right, well, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Nancy Bold-Borman. I'm the current chair of the Soil and Water District Commissioners for Kossuth County. Just a quick refresher on that, there's 5 elected commissioners, they have 4-year terms. So every county in the state has 5 elected soil and water commissioners, and we're part of the conservation districts of Iowa. So there's also an annual meeting, there's the different districts in the state kind of divided into 9 sections as well. Myself and also Luke Snyder have been in the past CDI like alternate directors. Currently we're not, but we've had for previous number of years as well. We are in part with the 3 different legs of this like soil and water conservation stool. There's the federal portion, which is the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. The IDALS, Iowa Department of Ag and Land Stewardship, and then us, the County Soil and Water Conservation District. So we work with the federal, state, and county to work together on these efforts. If you don't go down the street, there's the NRCS, most of those are USDA employees. We do have our conservation assistant, Pam Kolash, is an IDALS employee. During the recent government shutdown, which closed the federal portion of that, our conservation assistant still worked, and actually she worked out of the office out at the nature center at Water's Edge. So I guess thankful for the county for that. So.
We did not shut down.
Right, so she was able to, that's what I'm saying, they were generous to let her office out of there for the little over a month. So I think it was really hard working for her because you're so intertwined with the federal stuff that it's very, very tricky. Like you have to use a different computer, your email, but she was still functioning on all the state programs and cost share and trying to do what she could during that time. So then we also, on the county level, we meet monthly, and you're always welcome to that. And we go through and see a lot of the applications going through and help just make sure that the state, federal, and county level are all being covered. So, okay, just background on that part. The past few years we have requested and received $5,000 from the supervisors. A big effort, what we do is with soil and water conservation education efforts. We provide trees for all the 3rd graders in the county. We support further education in the conservation study with scholarships, and support Iowa State Extension's Water Rocks program to come to the schools to educate on those topics. They also brought the conservation station trailer to the Kossuth County Fair last summer, and several of the previous ones. We support some of the eggs in the classroom as well. We are looking in the works we currently have a Facebook page, so I'd encourage you to follow that if you haven't. But not everyone uses Facebook, and the algorithm can really vary your stuff, so we are working actually to make a simple web page where we can get some of the general information and find out about the district and the programs. So that is something that is underway currently in the works. And we're hoping to actually get linked to the county website too, as a reference, or as a linkage there. I guess one of the other more visible things we've done recently is working on our stream signage project. Last 2 years ago, we worked and got a DNR grant to get all of the paved roads in the Boone River watershed portion of the county have street sign names. So that's in the southeast portion, kind of by Laverne, south of Wesley, in that area. So we got that done. We, this past year, applied for another grant with the DNR and got it, and we had now everything south of Highway 18 is labeled. So maybe you saw, especially in that southwest part of the county, those stream signs are now on there, and we hope to continue to work our way through. The rest of the county, as you know, is large, and we try to do it reasonable because we work with the county engineers team too, not to overwhelm them. And we've been pretty fortunate to have been getting matching funds with grants, but we'll see how that continues in the future. But that's one of our goals, is to continue to try to do that through the rest of the county. So I guess next, in 2026, we also would like to do some sort of field day or tour. We've had several in the past, but we have several different IDOLs, conservation projects in the works or getting done right now. Some new wetlands and some different projects. So we hope to plan for that in 2026, and I'd love for you to view that. So I mean, we all know soil and water conservation is important, keeping that soil in place. Wind erosion is a big deal here, keeping the nutrients not flowing down to the Des Moines River is a, very, very big topic. So promoting and education of this, hopefully this is a good investment and, just a real small piece of your budget, which I know you have very many things to look at. So anyways, if you have any questions, you can ask me today or any other time you'd like. So,
It's 5,000 again this year.
that's what we
Okay.
forecast. Yep, same thing as before.
Very good.
So,
The stream signs,
Yes.
we noticed them ourselves.
yes,
They're really interesting, at least the first time over,
Right.
so that's a positive, so what, you hope for them to be there on an ongoing basis, so who will be responsible for,
I think that's on us, between us and working with the engineers. So
I
we
don't know
talked about
I
that.
don't know what the life of a sign is.
Right.
And-
So
Somebody
far,
when
the
they
one-
fade or somebody hits them.
It's, and
yeah,
that's the
right,
big
right,
thing too,
right.
that's, we've had different posts and different,
Mhm.
there's discussions about how to do that. I guess one other comment too, the ones we did for the Boone River, so we have 3 different watershed things here. We have some, the Boone and that southeast portion. We have East Fork of the Des Moines, which is a good chunk of our county, and we have part of the Blue Earth, which flows to the north into Minnesota. So those are the 3 big ones. For the Boone River, we actually have the creek name, and then that shows that's in the Boone River. For these other ones, we just did the creek name. Do you think in the future we should budget to say that it's part of the, East Fork of the Des Moines or part of the Blue Earth watershed?
I guess
That's something we went back and forth of, it'd be a
guess
little
I
extra
never
expense, but it also show hey, this is actually going into this,
So the
major
signs
river.
down by me, when it says Prairie Creek, it says Boone River Watershed.
Right, those ones
Oh.
have a thing with
I
it
don't
too.
know if I've noticed.
Yeah, you could,
So maybe that
Okay.
answers your question, but I don't
so,
know.
yeah, well, Boone River had some sort of logo with it.
Yeah,
Special,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they were trying to do some extra
Okay.
focus on that Boone section, so.
I guess I haven't thought about.
Yeah, so that's, something we've kicked around too, trying to be, economical and something that'll stay
Right.
for a long time, I don't think we've had any issues with the Prairie Creek ones so far, that I know of the last few, we've made it a few years anyways, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's, and hopefully it's helpful for your drainage things too, I hope, some of those things are streams,
It's educational.
right, it's educational, and people often care more if at least they know what things
Yeah.
are called also, so.
Well, I think those signs are less prone to being damaged than, they're not right where somebody's turning onto a road, or they're not in a field driveway area, or
Yeah.
usually,
Yeah.
so equipment's not gonna hit them as much, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
So far, so good. We'll see. We're thankful that our engineer's office has been helpful to work with, and we try to, we're not, try to be thoughtful of them, do it when you have a little time in your time, to work it in among other things, so.
Okay.
Anyway, so, thank you,
Thanks.
yeah, reach
Yep.
out anytime.
Very good.
Yes, so that's a little update on that. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yes, thanks you guys. Appreciate all you do. Not easy.
Who is coming for Tales of Food?
I don't know.
You don't even know, okay. Well, we'll just go ahead with board discussion then. Howard?
Take care, you guys.
Yeah, you too.
I don't believe I had anything, I'm going to the 3rd Judicial District meeting on Friday in Sioux City, I guess.
Okay. Amber?
I believe, I'm getting mixed up on my weeks, but I think it was last week that I had the EMS advisor with joint, but
Oh,
maybe, or was it the week before?
no, I think you talked about that last week.
Yeah, oh yeah, cause Kyle, I did talk about it, so
Yeah.
I'm there with that, so I don't think I had. Just compensation board last night. Went to that, and we had an emergency management meeting last night, just to make sure that we had covered all our bases on the lease and the changes, requested, but I think that is it.
Okay. Josh?
I did not have any meetings.
Okay. Did you or either you or Howard go to compensation board?
Yeah.
Oh, you,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Try not to, I'm not trying, I mean, I didn't say anything, I was like,
No, that's fine.
they seem to, excuse me, since you asked, they seem to focus a lot on sheriffs and.
Yep. They always do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what did they, I'd intended to be there, we had family from out of state with us.
3.5, is that right?
Yeah, 11 for the sheriff and 3.5 for all.
For everybody else?
Yep.
Okay, okay.
No, I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got it written down right here.
Good for you.
So, very good, no, I had no other meetings, so. Oh, that's right, I was gonna talk about solar, so I was visiting with, and I need to follow up some more with the zoning administrators in Saragordo and Worth. So, Saragordo County, there was a 3,000 acre, I think it was 3,000 acre proposed commercial solar, farm, whatever you wanna call it, project,
That's big.
that is big. That was gonna go in over there, and the name of the company is Range Power, or Ranger Power, or something like that. And they, Board of Supervisors took a year to decide what they wanted to do, and they ended up concluding that Saragordo County is not a place that is best suited for solar and wind, was their final conclusion. So they ended up saying no to any development in the county. Range Power then has come in and sued the county because they want to have a project there, and they're saying that the county doesn't have the right to tell them yes or no. That's a decision by the Iowa Utility Commission. So then we get into we're getting into the same argument of the pipeline then. This case is most likely going to be appealed to a higher court. There's a group of farmers, a bunch of young farmers over in Saragordo County that have banded together, hired an attorney, and are fighting the solar company. The Saragordo County itself has hired an attorney and is fighting the solar company. And so it's a big deal over there at the moment.
How did you stumble on, excuse my choice of word, how did you stumble onto all this?
I had some past connections with people that were involved in the wind energy, that, when we were discussing things here in Kossuth County, and I know lived over that way, and just was curious. I had heard a couple things, and I sat on a different board with a supervisor from Worth County, and just visiting with people over there that I know, and seeing where things were at. Worth was in a little different situation because they did not have any zoning other than right along I-35, those 3 townships or something that were along I-35. So they've changed their whole, I think they now have zoning and their whole comprehensive plan and everything. But just something to be aware of, the attorney that Range Power has hired is the same attorney that has represented Summit in cases, and is the same attorney that was representing Invenergy for wind power. And so this guy must be the guy for.
Not only that, he doesn't have to reinvent the wheel,
He can just have the same argument for all these different people. So it'll be the outcome of that really will set precedent. for us,
There probably won't be an outcome before.
no, there's not gonna be an outcome before we pass an ordinance, which is fine, but, just know that getting into this, it is being argued right now that we don't even have the right to decide what's best for our county, I mean, regardless. And, you know, that is the power of the state, the Iowa Utility Commission.
Which goes into this lawsuit that we just partially funded.
With
Local controls.
yeah, and that's exactly what we're fighting for with the pipeline. It was interesting to talk to a couple people and, about it. Brett Dublinski is the name of the attorney that.
For the other.
It's a solar company now.
Where's he from? Which side of that?
Against the county or.
Against the county,
Yeah.
and where's he from? Not that it matters, like, is he is he local to the state?
Probably not.
I don't. Yeah. I don't even know where he's from, Howard. Yeah, I don't. So, yeah, but there is a docket filed with the Iowa Utility Commission. There's been different reports, Farm Bureau's gotten involved in it, of course. On the county side, on the farmer side of things. And so they've had different economists testify to the IUC, how this would affect the ag economy, taking 3,000 acres out of commission and et cetera. The Sierra Club and other organizations always jump on those too, but, so I guess that's kind of turning into a big deal over there, and like I say, that'll set precedent in the future sometime. Will that be solved next year? No. Just like the pipeline, I mean, that started before I was on the board, and it's gonna continue as well after I get off too, but, yeah, just things to be aware of that are going on in North Iowa. But there's a lot of good, if we're looking for justification, I'd encourage you to go look into that docket. It's 100 pages, so there's a lot of reading material, but there's stuff out there if we're looking for justification for certain setbacks or whatnot that we can use if that's the direction we go, so. Yeah, that's all I had on that.
Interesting.
It is interesting, and I didn't know most of that before this last week.
Should we check with Nick? Or are we gonna go back to that other thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks
Before
for,
we're closed?
Yeah.
I don't know, all of a sudden.
Thanks for
Random
remembering
thought,
that.
yeah, no.
I completely
Go,
forgot.
yeah, go check with Nick. I forgot about it too.
I'm glad you brought that up. I hadn't heard that.
I didn't know much about it either. I knew they were working through something, but I didn't know it was that big of a deal.
You should be the one ordinance.
Yeah.
You should not want an ordinance if you're gonna end up just.
And that's partially why I started digging into making sure our processes, our ITs were crossed and I's were dotted
I'm
and,
glad you did that, Carter, cause I was not in the know about that, that's for sure.
yeah.
I had no idea that the planning and zoning needed to do something first. Hi, Nick.
Hi, thanks for giving me a chance to get this. Okay, there's those, two lots up in Sway City, Alicia told you about. And it looked like they only put a city special on one of them, cause I think the building was just on one of them. And the total dollar amount of the taxes and the city specials, just without the penalty or anything, is $21,924, and $18,046 of that is city specials.
Okay.
So that's the city just gonna have to eat it.
Do I understand, so that's the city's portion of it, or of the 21,000?
Well, yes, that's the city's portion of it, and their portion of the property taxes that they're not gonna get either, and the property tax, the difference will be the $3,878, so they won't get their portion of that, the school won't, and county won't,
And then we need to make the decision for all those entities, or?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were okay with it, City of Sway City seemed okay with it.
Yeah, they're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if the county would have taken deed to it, well then, wow, then what are we gonna do? There's still those city specials and stuff like that, and, it's just an unfortunate thing that happened. You know, they went and they probably needed to be removed. They're probably dilapidated and dangerous, so.
Right.
So they did, they got the biggest expense out of it then, so.
Okay.
And those dollars were for both parcels, correct?
Correct. Yeah, like I said, the city special was only on one of the parcels, but yeah.
So there's no assignment fee, nothing like that?
Well, yeah, I
Is this,
suppose.
is this a little different, or is there an
No,
assignment fee?
I'm sorry, so we're gonna assign it today then, or?
I don't know, I guess I didn't know.
It'd be
I-
probably $10 a piece,
Okay,
$20 for the two, so. But I
yeah,
don't
well,
know.
then that kind of part of all the abatement process anyway? Or not?
Yeah, well, the abatement won't take place like usual. We like to put in the wording of the assignment that nothing will be abated until they take deed to it.
Okay,
Because about time this would be abated, well, then the owner can come back in and, well, I only owe a little bit on it, I'm gonna pay it, you know,
gotcha.
so.
So is it okay to do the assignment fee today with this whole thing? I mean,
If you guys are comfortable with what I just gave you, I mean,
Is there any drainage taxes?
nope, there wasn't on those two parcels, I
Okay.
checked that.
Okay.
There was no drainage, so we don't have to worry about that, collecting any drainage. It would just be, the $10 for each of the certificates.
Well, if the city's good with it, then yeah.
yeah, and if it is gonna get it back in the,
Yeah, and
eventually back in the.
Cause you're not getting that 18,000
No,
anyway.
no,
That's-
no.
That's just on paper.
Right.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to kinda absorb that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate,
What do you do?
yeah, what do you, yeah. So are you writing up how this is gonna be, or?
I kind of was.
Okay.
I can read it to you.
I'm sure everybody understands, I know I'm the weak one here, but is there a way for, if we finalize this, it's a done deal, is there a way that we can make sure the city knows what they're doing, or we're confident?
They've done it before,
Yeah.
that's not their,
Yeah, and she was
this isn't
here.
their
Yeah.
First and,
Yeah.
we didn't talk about the 21,924 and 18.
I talked to Alyssa about that a few days ago.
Okay.
Cause she called me and she said, oh, I think we have someone that's interested, what can be done? I said, well, what do you wanna do, you know? I didn't know. She really didn't know at that time, but I think maybe they made the decision that it's just not gonna get paid, so,
Yeah, right.
regardless, so.
And I don't think they can go forward until we do this, correct?
No, they can't,
No.
they can't.
Right, so,
They can't do the notification and things like that until, the assignment is done and, you know, do the lien search and the 90-day notice. And
yeah,
I wish there's a way that could be sped up, but
yeah.
it's in the code.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would make a motion to
Abate.
approve that.
Can I read what I wrote?
Yes, you can.
Okay. The motion is to assign tax certificates for parcel 0619229008 and 0619229009 to the city of Sway City for a $10 assignment fee for tax certificates and abate back taxes once the city of Sway City takes deed to the property.
Yes,
I think that sounds pretty
that sounds perfect.
Good job.
Thanks.
I'll second.
Alright. Second by Lexi. Any further discussion? All All in favor of approving the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Nick.
So I should ask you this, but how long has this been going on then for?
For a long time. I mean,
2007?
no, before
No,
that.
it was even before that, okay. I thought
It was, the first taxes, 92. 92.
That didn't include any interest and penalties?
No.
Strictly the actual tax?
Yep. You didn't want it.
You don't wanna know?
Well, I have it.
Go ahead.
But
Tell
yeah,
us.
I mean,
You brought it up, tell us.
the interest on it, on those two parcels, 72,635 and $300 cost, so,
If,
yeah.
yeah, well, it's only gonna keep piling
Yeah.
up and never gonna go away, so.
Yep. Yeah, so,
At least now we stand a chance of getting some money eventually.
yeah. So,
Thanks.
Okay,
yes,
Thank
you're
you for
welcome.
that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
what time is it here, 11:50? I don't have a lot of hope that
No.
the other two are coming in,
No.
so,
The law library thing.
they don't always come in.
Like-
Did somebody come last, somebody did come last year. didn't
Not
they
the
did
first
some-
time.
Yeah, they came afterwards.
I had to call them and then they came in.
Who was that?
Steve Courtney?
Steve Courtney.
It's kinda nice to know what they want
Mm-hmm.
before you
Yeah.
do your budget sheets and stuff. But whatever, I guess.
Where is that housed here?
Yeah, up in
Yeah,
that-
it
Is
is.
it
Clerk
physical
of-
or is it digital or both?
No, it's physical.
It's
Mhm.
physical.
I think they
A lot of
were,
books.
They have a certain amount of legal copies that they have to have on hand
Yeah.
to update that every so often.
the books.
Was there any
and stuff.
options on our, it's not optional anyway,
You know.
hence.
No, they had, one time had built enough money in their account and hadn't really spent it, so then they quit asking.
Right,
So it kinda depends on where they're at with that and if they need money again. So there were several years, I think, that we didn't give
Well,
anything.
didn't Jim Lauer come in?
I
think it was
remember,
Jim.
yeah,
I think,
Last year?
I think maybe last year Jim Lauer came
I think
in,
that sounds right.
yeah.
Yeah.
and they told us that they're working on, updating like a whole section of like the books and stuff
Mm-hmm,
and that it was going to be spread out over a few years, so they were gonna ask for, wasn't it like 1,500?
yeah,
And we
And then
used
they were
to at
gonna do
one
like
time give like
1,500 each.
12,000, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they don't buy near as many books as
Yeah.
they did.
I remember they were looking at doing some online thing, but the subscription base for that wasn't gonna be worth it because they didn't have enough interest or something like that, if I remember right.
I don't remember, either way, we'll have to find out. Well, if everyone's good, we can take a motion to adjourn.
so move,
Well-
okay, Howard.
I don't here.
Howard had his hand up, motion by Haas, second by Garmin. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned at 11:53.
Just in time for lunch.